Hey, back again with another show, this time another open panel, open topic chit chat show where anybody is welcome to join and bring something to the table. It doesn't have to be about flat earth this evening, although I'm sure we will talk about it at some point. But of course, you know, the panel is open for a open discussion this evening. Right, let me get a link actually to the show channel. There we go. I'm gonna pop that in the chat right now. So if anybody wants to hop on, there's the link. Right, let's say a few hellos to some of the people that have turned up already. We have YouTube who was in nice and early. Hell and Degenerates, nice to see you in, my friend. Brandon Cook, Ian Adams, Mark Hollard, Champion the Underdog. Nice name. Don't think I've ever seen you around here before though. Very nice name. Multi-Tom Tom. Nice to see you in. Mark Beretta. Cheers, Ranty. I don't know if I can take another rump-ass load of lies tonight, but I'm staying put because your show is tops. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Right, okay. Who else do we have in? We got Rachie, we got Liam Bobrick. Nice to see you in. Josh Globe Smashed. SE Montreal. Page 42, Hector Ram. We've got Brandon Cooking. We've got SE Montreal, Bill G. And we have, any more, John Szydlik, My Realm, Askin Reeves, Matrix Media. We have Chris, and we have Gadfly13. And Ian Adams, right? Everybody's caught up. Oh, Dinosaur Falcon, nice to see you in as well. Right, let's see who's in the panel waiting. Let's have a look. See, we have Jimbo, we have Crow, and we have actually Champion the Underdog. How are you all doing this evening?
Doing good.
It's been a while.
How are you, Ranty?
It's been a while, Crow. How are you doing?
Hello.
Yeah, I'm okay. I just since you the panel for any topic, so I hope today would be YouTube censoring and the monetization thing. If that's okay with the audience or you.
That's entirely fine with me. As I said, bring whatever you want to discuss this evening and let's put it on the table and have a chat about it. You know, if I know anything about it, I'll talk about it. If I don't, obviously I'll just shut up and let other people talk about it. So it's one of them shows tonight. So yeah, sure. What do you want to fire away at? The YouTube censorship?
I think I don't understand much. Yeah, I have a video that I sent now on the Junk Conversation or Junk Convo by Astronomy Live, and the title of the video is YouTube censoring and demonetizing debunkers in general. Because when you use a video from another channel in order to try to debunk it or something like that, I think YouTube senses that and doesn't monetize you when you do that. And I think you do that all the time.
Well, the fact is, YouTube is a private company. There are agreements that people make to submit to their rules, and some of them they apply in a draconian way. No one's going to change that. There's a risk if you try to monetize and make a business out of YouTube. It's risky, and it's not going to change. And really spending a show talking about it, and it's already been talked about, people know that's what they're doing. There's really not much anyone can do, and lamenting about it will not change it.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I find it an interesting topic actually. So, what you're trying to say is that you've used somebody else's. Did you say you'd used somebody else's work, or is it somebody else that's talking about it?
This is what I understood from Astronomy Live. He gave example of two YouTubers, I think Globers, and they were using some other videos in their videos, and they got warning or they were demonetized.
I
and
see.
he also implied, I think there's some kind of imply that you might just get demonetized without being told for the specific video.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, there are some channels that that have that feature enabled. I'm not sure whether or not they've got some kind of where you have to go through the settings and you have to put like an automatic block on anybody using your content without authorization. If they do that, then what they'll do is if you play like I don't know, let's say a 30-second clip of it or something, it's then no longer deemed open source, that you can just use it, and they've got copyright over it, and if they want to be arsy about it, they can just strike your channel for for you using their content. So there is some channels that you won't show their content, or you'll show an image, you won't play a video though. There are some big science channels that are like that.
I've seen that when I make a video and put some music in it, or take a clip from a movie, and they immediately after processing the video, they send me this copyright. You say this is a strike, but it's okay. You can you can upload the video.
Yeah,
So,
okay, so I understand that. Well, it's not a strike. What that means is that they'll monetize your video, so you don't make any money out of it. So they'll put adverts on it, and then they'll get the revenue from it. But what the best way to get around that is to upload your video, right, to your channel. Leave it for about, I don't know, let's say an hour, and you'll see if you get a message from into your emails. And if you get a message in your email saying that if you release this video, it's going to have a copyright against it, you can then decide whether you release it or you don't. And you can go back and you can change it. You can delete the video before you release it, and that way that you don't run a risk of getting a strike.
but who initiate this copyright? YouTube or the owners, like the movie company?
Oh, the movie
Private
company.
companies that have these sensors that try to detect music beats, words, everything.
Yep.
And they send something if they think it's copyrighted and within their rights and domain to collect on it, they send the strike. They send it even on non-copyright music. I play old stuff that's supposed to be public domain, and I'll get copyright strikes in order to put it down. So it's going to be there.
Woohoo! Thank you, good servant, for the 99-cent super sticker. Much appreciated, my friend. Much appreciated. Yeah, I mean, I suppose it all comes down to the individual. Big channels, and I suppose, can do it, and also, if you apply for the service, I think you can do it. You can actually physically apply for that thing. So you have to give your name, your address, everything like that, because if you're going to sue somebody, it has to be all legal, so you'll have to hand in everything, to get on that service. And the big I mean, who wants to use movies anyway in the videos? You're asking for trouble. You're asking for trouble, though, aren't you? I mean, it's their work. They've spent millions making it, and you're going to just rip it off and use it on your video. It's no wonder they're going to get mad at you.
The best example for me, there's a song by Evanescence. Can't remember the name, but I thought this songs with the lyrics matches exactly with the movie Max Payne, so I made a clip about it, and that's where they say you cannot show it anywhere. But then later they allowed me to publish it, but without monetization.
Okay, well, yeah. But you could also use subtitles, I think, because it's more to do with the music that goes along with it and the verbalization. It's much harder for them to track visual stuff, but it's dead easy for them to track, music and things. So
I don't know. They're demons. They find anything they want. So the point is, I think, like the big companies, like the movies companies, music companies, they want to preserve their rights. So they talk to YouTube, we shut you down, or you give us some revenue if someone use our things. So they say, okay, and they put this algorithm. But if someone like me put a video and then someone else use it, I didn't make any contract with YouTube. If I see the video, my content is being used by someone, I might make a claim of copy strike. But if I didn't see it, well, this is a very sneaky move from YouTube. they just seeking any chance to demonetize you, and they say, okay, you're not using your own thing, so we're going to demonetize you, even though my channel that is not monetized because I'm still below 1000 subscriber. They may still tell you you use this person content demonetized.
Can you look at my screen? I'm sharing it in the show channel right now.
Yeah.
You can see that
Hold on YouTube or
in the Discord.
okay, watch.
So you can see me. I've got it
yeah.
says I've got live. Yeah. So if you look at that, what you'll see is yesterday's Flat Earth chit chat. Ineligible copyright claim. The one before, ineligible copyright claim.
Oh
claim,
my
copyright claim. You know.
So
there you go.
Are they initiated by the other channels that you use their contents?
Yeah, other channels, music, anything like that. You know, so if you the thing with this channel obviously is that you'll show stuff, you'll play stuff. It goes on the fly. People want a video playing, you do it. You don't. And it's just copyright strike all over. You know what I mean? It's just the way it.
No, but what I meant, like, is those strikes by Simon Dan or Arctic Reflection, the person himself, or
to be honest,
automatic?
To be honest, I haven't looked yet. I spent sometime last week, nearly 2 days going through about 300 copyrights individually, trying to see what's what. So to be honest, I haven't I haven't gone back. I haven't. It takes a lot of time to go through and sort of like appeal these, because you have to do them individually and you have to give reasons why, etc. So is what it is.
So maybe what I understand is correct.
Yes, you do get copyright. You do get copyright striked. That's why I don't make much money on this channel apart from the super chat. So if anybody's out there listening, hint, hint. PayPal will be better actually. Avoid that 30% that YouTube that YouTube get.
Yeah.
Help us out at PayPal. That'd be much appreciated. Fight the censorship. So you finding. Do you, when you title anything Flat Earth in your videos, does it, or if you've done that, does it seem to get more censorship or not?
No, it get more views. If I put Flat Earth, I get more views.
Okay. And is that because you're anti-Flat Earth though?
No, because I look at the video sources, and I see the majority comes from search, and there's search words. And I see the Flat Earth word is one of the words that's being searched a lot. And that's why people find the videos.
Mind you, you've got a relatively small channel at the moment, haven't you? How many subscribers do you have?
300.
Oh, you're getting there slowly, aren't you? That's CrowXE,
yeah.
CROWXE. For all you globe heads out there that like supporting other channels, that's how you'll find Crow. Jimbo, you were on Nathan's today, I believe. At least I'm sure I heard you on there at some point. Yeah, it was, mate. Yeah.
Jimbo's a glober?
No. Jimbo's not a glober. He's not a flat earther. He's not a flat earther actually either. He's
okay.
I'm not too sure. He knows that water's level and finds its own level. Do you agree with that, Crow?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I also heard you was doing a presentation on the wind turbines over at Jose's.
Yeah.
What was all that about? Because I didn't actually watch it, so I never got a chance to see what you were saying about it.
Well, don't play it. Don't play it here now. You don't want a copy strike for this show too. But yeah, so this video was long waited since I first saw your video, but I was lacking some information until I saw Arctic reflection. He was using some charts, marine charts. This made me go for it. And the one of the issues that made me postpone this video for 2 years is I couldn't, you know,
2
have a
years?
good argument.
Hold on, 2
Yeah,
years?
since
What video are you
yeah,
talking about?
your video is 2 years old.
Oh, so it's not the new video, right? Okay, so this is an old video that you've been reviewing for a couple of years, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So you remember Gleam the other day when he showed me the picture of a boat, and not boat, it was just the horizon, and he said, look, it's not horizon, it's just fog and water.
Mm-hmm.
So this was the claim that I knew it's going to stop in the way from making the point of the video, and the point is horizon drop. So I found 3 targets: light vessel and the Hamilton platform. It's a platform with a very long legs, and the Douglas complex, and all of them at different distances, 40, 37, and 30 kilometers. But they are all sharing the same line of, you know, perspective. You know, when things are further away from you, they appear to rise in your field of view, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they all rise to the same level. Not there's no difference that I can tell in their level. So that's how I know that this is the horizon, and it's well below the turbines.
So you don't think things get smaller as they go further away? You don't think they actually lower down?
They do get smaller. Yeah.
Okay, so do you have to lower your eyes to look at those the further away they are?
Lower the R's. I don't get what you mean.
Okay, so if you're stood next to a lamppost and you want to look at the lamppost that's right next to you, I imagine you'll have to lift your head up and you'll have to look straight up, and then when you want to look at the next one, you'll have to lower your head slightly and lower your eyes, and that will happen continuously as long as you can still see the turbines, to the point where they just all seem to merge at the same point.
Yes, if you are standing on the shore and you know the turbine is ahead of you, yeah, I understand that.
Okay, that's cool. Because eventually everything will end up in that very small, next to nothing place we call the horizon. Because everything just, as a function of perspective, will end up in that.
Yes, everything will end up in that line, in the distance, even no matter how high they are, they will end up there.
I made this image not long ago, actually, a couple of days ago. Actually, I'm going to share this with you. I haven't even been back to this. I just made it, and we can go through it right now, actually, because tell me what you think. So this is a sea cam that you can get for Blackpool, so you can look out and it gives you a real time view of what's happening over in Blackpool.
Yeah.
Which I think is pretty cool. It is pretty awesome. So these spoons things here, these spoon things, right? They're 35 meters high, right? And it's hard to tell what the height of the camera is. It really is, because I've tried to locate it from using the images on Google Earth, and I wasn't able to find it. But I'm going to assume, and this is an assumption, that is higher than the camera. Now that's just an assumption. I can't verify that, but just looking at it, I'm assuming that is going to be higher than the actual camera, right?
Yeah.
Now, so when we go to the next object, which is this wheel, this Ferris wheel over here, the big wheel is called. It is. Hang on, where are we? 32 meters. 32 meters high is the big wheel, right? Which is the red line there. Yeah. And then further away, which is about another mile further away, we have a 38 meter high ride, right? So I've put the line in across the top of it like that. That's 38 38 meters high. It's about a mile further away than the big wheel, which is only 32 meters high. So can you see the problem here with, you know, that's 6 meters higher, that is 6 meters higher than this, and it's only a mile away. It's only like 2 miles away. That's like a mile away, if that. You know, it's not even that probably. It's probably a mile and a half to that, and it's probably around about 3/4 of a mile to that, something like that. It's not far. So that's 38 meters high. This is 32 meters high, and this spoon here is 35 meters high. So, do you see the different things that are going on in this image? How does that work with your ability to process this information about things getting smaller and different heights of things at relatively short distances? I mean, this isn't very far. You know, why would you think? Why would that at 38 meters high? That's 38 meters high. Why would that, right, appear far lower than this, which is only 32 meters high? And that's relative. These are relatively close. They're not that far away. You know, why do you think that is?
Yeah, because the further away things get away from us, it rises to the vanishing point. So if they are the same height, that 2 miles or 2 poles is going to be higher than this the wheel, even if they are the same height. But that even is taller. That's 38. So that looks natural. The one that I cannot really, you know, comprehend and explain is comparing the spoon and the wheel.
Oh, right, okay. The spoon is
because
here.
The spoon is too high. I mean, not too high. Well, too close, maybe.
Well, that's maybe 3/4.
Well, it's not impossible to figure out exactly what window this picture is being taken from. It's a few stories above the road level there.
Yeah, Jimbo.
From Google Earth, we should be able to find that hotel room.
Yeah, Jimbo. I spent about an hour trying to locate it. I used this corner here of the which is in front of the tower. So I used that corner over here and this corner here to drive a direct line of sight, sort of this route, this way. And then I looked all around this area for an hour trying to locate this particular thing on the left-hand side, which looks like it's Accrington brick, and that looks like a ledge. I couldn't find it. I just couldn't find it.
Give me a minute.
But like I said, I would like to find it and know the height of this camera. But I definitely find, you know, this perspective thing. You know, I mean, it is quite tricky to figure out. It's not just linear, and I don't think it's linear. You know, whichever way.
Looking down on the lighting poles, we can see the caps of the lighting poles, so we could place it actually, you know, a few feet above that. It's still not.
Oh, here, yeah.
It's not exact, but it's still it's above the light poles, which we could find the height of.
Mm-hmm. But we don't know how much higher, do we? That's the thing. You know, we just don't know that information. But anyway, so this is just doing it in black and white. Everything lowers down and ramps up. The reason that I've put this line in here, these 3 lines in the bottom, is because they're the bases of everything. So that's the base of the spoon. That's the base of the wheel, which is down here, and then that's the base of the ride, which is up here. So all of them follow a ramping up, right? And consequently also, even though they're different heights, these all follow a ramping down. They all follow a ramping down. And what's going to happen is they're just going to meet. Never the twain shall meet, so they say. But yeah, this is definitely they're just going to end up meeting at some point. Coincidentally, that's going to be the horizon, where just everything vanishes to a point. And I just thought this was a great example of perspective. You know,
Absolutely is.
You know, just a great example of perspective, that all the feet are rising up, all the tops of them are lowering down, and you know, it doesn't take a genius to work out that eventually all of these things, if you push them further enough away, they would all just occupy the same space in your vision. You know, they would occupy that same space.
Force close to you, big. Force far away, small.
Yes, exactly. Right. Okay. So anyway, that was that. I just found that was interesting, and I put that together. I've not even, like I say, I've not spent a lot of time even going through that. It's the first time I've looked back at it since I put it in the Discord. But yeah, I thought it was cool. Right, let's see who else is in the chat. We got Cleary. Cleary, you haven't been on for a while, actually, mate. How about you hop on? Tony, what's he said? Tony is on Roxanne's right now talking about 5G vaccines and nanoparticles. Ooh, okay. I'm sure that's riveting stuff. Flat for Life, nice to see you, my friend. Let's see who else we got in. Ian Adams, yeah, got all that. Right, okay. Anybody else got anything? Jimbo, you was on Nathan's today. What's happening over there?
It's dead as far as globe heads coming on during the actual show and stuff. It's getting pretty rare. It goes over the usual Coriolis and some other stuff. It's not what it used to be in a lot of senses, you know. It's still a bit rough around the edges verbally and stuff, but for education, for some accuracy, and just for, hitting the nail on the head with the hammer, still going on, It's kind of John Wayne, rough, tough, and don't take no shit over there, But it's natural it evolved to that too, Again, like when the argument about falling objects comes, and gravity's always blamed and analyzed and personified, no one stops to listen for 2 minutes, like the old example. If Neil deGrasse Tyson is holding the mic above the ground, he's got the potential energy. It's got potential if he releases it to fall. That's not gravity. That's just release of potential. So if you ask, well, what is falling? A mic? Why is it falling? A bozo let it go. There was no table or anything to stop it. So it hit the floor and bounced. Whether you lift a bowling ball and a feather and pin them to the rafters at NASA in a super vacuum chamber, somebody pinned a bowling ball and a feather to the rafters, not gravity. If gravity was responsible for getting the bowling ball up to the rafters, then I would blame gravity for its fall. But nothing gets stuck to the rafters without a hoist and some people, some clamps, some release mechanisms. Gravity is just a magic word, because, well, anyway, whatever they use it for.
I don't know. What was that, Jimbo? Like your fan or something? No idea. Right, Parables of Jesus Christ FE says, sclera, ice wall, iris, land and sea, pupil, black like the reported black magnetic mountain under Polaris, magnify, you, I, others, centre of eye, plane, existence, tears, salty like the ocean. Okay, all good. Good day, everyone. Hope everyone is well. Yes, I echo those sentiments too. Dean Kenny says, "How are you doing, Ranty man? Loving the shows. Yeah, love putting them on as well. Always out doing these shows. Open platform for everyone. Let me respam the link to bring some more people in. Hopefully, people's going to jump on.
Yeah, I'm one who doesn't believe in an ice wall.
Sorry." You don't believe in
one who does not believe in an ice wall.
It's funny you should. It's funny that you should say that, because somebody said something. Hang on, just let me find what it was. Who was it who said something about quantum eraser?
The guy who will not cover atomic absorption and secondary emission for the local creation and generation of life. What about him?
I guess you're. Are you friends with him, or do you and him not get on
In a
too?
way, he's okay, but he's like, American military stuff, just too dogmatic and has this way of defying gravity, defying math, defying that. It just gets old. It's so old.
Oh,
And
there
like
we
I
go.
say,
There we go.
it's sort of controlled, in my opinion, because look, anyone can look up atomic absorption and secondary emission. Been there all this time. He's been yabber-mouthing about the tail wagging and the particle and the wave collapse function.
So we got.
That's just gatekeeping that. Don't look at how light is generated locally. Look at the dog wagging its tail.
So Helen, here we go. So Helen Degenerate says this is about quantum eraser. Actually, he said, quantum eraser said the flat, non-spinning, domed Earth is done, and that the ballers are going to jump on that one. What do you think to that? Jimbo.
I think the big problem with ballers is the kind of cult religious aspect they have and the dissonance. Those two things combined make quite the force. So they can cling on to whatever they want. My life doesn't depend on what ballers believe. I try to, tell people what I know as fact. Water doesn't bend. We're on huge drainage basins,
Mm-hmm.
I got 32,000 square miles of flat around me. That's a lot of flat.
Indeed, it is.
When I lived in the Gaspé, I lived in a town called New Richmond. There's a place called the Cape. It's on the shore. It's a little high rocky mound there, right on the coast. But we lost a canoe one time. The tide came up, flushed it out of the river, and sent it towards the Atlantic Ocean. Now, this bay runs about 100 miles by 20 miles wide, about the average. So from that hill, with the right sun, you could see that boat on the water. Geez, it was past Bonaventure, it was past, I don't know. It was over 40 miles away.
Okay, listen, we've been joined by Lael. Wants to ask a question. I think this is the first time you've been on. Well, it's the first time I've seen you in anyway. You may have been in before. I do apologise if I've not seen you before, but you got a question? Go ahead.
Yes, I got a question for Jimbo. He made the statement that water never bends. Isn't a wave and a tsunami an example of water bending?
They're an energy moving across the surface, distorting
But the water
the surface.
bends, right?
No, well, the water modifies to allow the energy to pass through it. But overall, its average would still be flat. And when the waves are done, it's still flat.
The wave is bending, correct?
Only while energy is passing through, yes.
Yeah, fluid dynamics.
That's an example of water that bends.
No, it's not an example of water that bends.
It is.
Yeah, but it is.
For example, there's a term in surfing called shaving the curl. That's going underneath the bended part of the wave into the barrel of the water.
That's fine. Water forms.
And that shows the bending of the water is over the top of the surface.
Water has a lot of different forms it can take. But when it pools and it's quiet and at rest, it's flat. You take your lake, no wind and no waves, it's flat, dead flat.
All right.
You're trying to
show me an example of an ocean that is at rest all the time. Show me that.
There are times when the sea is extremely calm. And
show me the Atlantic Ocean being at rest. Go.
Ocean and experience it yourself, my friend. I am not.
Show me an example of the ocean being at rest because waves come in and go out. It's not rest.
On me. You see, your shortcomings of knowledge and your misbeliefs are not mine to correct for you.
It's not my shortcomings of knowledge, it's facts. Waves are moving ocean. That is a fact.
across a flat surface.
Moving ocean is not at rest.
Can you make
Unless you want to define rest for me.
waves in your bathtub?
I'm talking about the ocean.
It doesn't matter. You're talking about a body of
Or
water.
Pacific
Can you make
Ocean.
waves
Anywhere on
in
that
your
ocean.
bathtub? A simple yes or no question. Can you make waves in your bathtub?
Why are you changing it to the bathtub?
I'm
I'm
not
talking about the
you're talking about waves in water. I'm talking about waves in water. We're on the same page right here. Can you make waves in your bathtub? If you refuse to answer this question, I refuse
I'm trying to stick
to
on
answer
topic.
anything
The
else that
ocean.
you have.
Give me
So,
an example of
If
the
you
ocean
cannot
being at
make
rest.
waves, or you can make waves in your bathtub, which the water is flat before you make your waves, then you want to make misconnections that somehow your bathtub and your ocean are not connected. Yes, they are. They both represent flat bodies of water. So
The
you can
ocean
continue
itself
on your
is
own.
never-
I'm going to mute and
The
enjoy
ocean is
yourself.
never completely at rest. Show me an example of that on Earth where the ocean's completely at rest. No.
It doesn't really matter, right? If you shake the water on the bathtub, the whole body of the water is still flat. Right.
But he said it's only
You
flat when
can
it's
see you
Show
can
me a
see
portion
yeah.
of the ocean that's at rest.
You can see disturbance on the top of the thing, but we know it's basically flat. So I don't know.
Show me an example of the ocean at rest. That's what I want to see.
Again, I'm giving you just an example of a bathtub where you shake it and still the whole body of water is still flat on top. Yeah, you're gonna have some, movement on top, like if the same thing happened on the ocean. You see a little bit of movement on top of it, but the whole body is still flat.
But no, the mantra is a body of water at rest finds and seeks its level and is flat. Show me a portion of ocean that's at rest, or define rest for me in this case.
Did you hear what you just said? A body of water at rest finds its level?
Oh,
And
that's
then you
what
say,
you
now
meant.
tell me that on the ocean. You're so
Show
funny.
me an example of the ocean at rest.
But what is your point, though? Even okay, he's not at rest. What is your point?
Then
That
how
because you
can
see
it be
waves,
if it's not at rest?
because you see waves is now
The
it's
mantra
here,
is
or
the
what?
body
What's the
of
point?
water at rest seeks and finds its level and is flat. Show me a portion of ocean that is at rest. If you cannot, then how can you say that it's level?
Oh, you're just playing semantics, buddy.
No, I'm playing fact. It is a fact that the ocean
All right.
is always moving. Currents
On top
move.
of the ocean, sure, it moves. What is
The
your
ocean,
point?
inside the ocean.
Okay.
Under the
Okay, so
Okay, what is your
hold
point?
hold on. So, if the ocean is always moving and we've always got waves across it and it's never always flat, wouldn't that exasperate the curvature when we're trying to do observations?
Ranty, my point is, if water is never at rest, how can it be flat?
What's that got? What's that got to do with the shape of the container? Let's say. What's that got to do with the shape of it?
Because if a wave is an example of water bending, what's going to stop it from bending around the surface of the globe?
Well, it's pretty obvious because fluid dynamics as we know it. Fluid dynamics. You can go this. You can check this. So if you've got fluid dynamics in a bath and you decide to move it around the bath, you're going to see an effect of fluid dynamics. But it isn't going to curve around a ball, right? That's just not going to happen. It's just going to find its
Really,
level.
what if basketball and submerge it in a tub? Will it curve around the basketball?
It will envelop the basketball.
But it will curve around it, right?
Because it's actually in the medium. It's inside the medium. It's not. The water isn't sticking to it. It's actually being placed inside the medium that surrounds it.
And push the ball under the water, the surface will still be flat.
What you have to do to the ball,
ball,
you gotta carve the ball, then you see if water's.
Well, hold on. if I unsubmerge the ball and hand it to you, Ranty, will the surface of the basketball be wet?
Depends how long you pass it to me for. If you leave it for half an hour, then no, it won't be wet. It'll be dry as a bone.
What if I immediately hand it to you? Will it be wet?
If you immediately hand it to me, yes, it will be wet.
The surface of the ball
A dripping mess it'll be.
That is
It'll be a
because
dripping mess.
of surface tension.
Then what we're going to do is we're going to spin it.
Surface tension.
Yeah, then we're going to spin it, right? Then we're going to spin it, and then after we've spun it for, let's say, 5 billion years, after it's been spinning for 5 billion years, we're going to see if it's still got water stuck to it.
And if you spin a bucket of water above your head, does the water stay inside the bucket or does it fall out?
Bucket of water is the opposite of
So
what we're talking about.
yeah,
buddy.
so the container base would be on the outside then, wouldn't it?
But that's
If you
not
were the
what
center,
the point
yeah, no, it is. The container base would be on the outside.
Is the water
In
going
order,
to fall out of the container?
no, in order to
Is
get
the water-
in order to get an example similar to yours, you would have to hold the bucket outright with the bottom of the bucket towards you and the open end away from you, and then you would spin around, and then you would ask yourself, is the bucket still holding water after you've done that for an hour?
Yes, and as I spin the bucket around, and there's portions of time when the bucket opening is facing away from me. At any point in time during those points of time, will the water fall out of the bucket?
I just don't know how that relates to the idea that this. Yeah, no, I don't know how it relates to the shape of the Earth.
We're old enough and smart enough to call this bullshit, Ranty, aren't we?
We are, but I'm enjoying this actually. This is like a little play with the troll time, so it's pretty cool.
It's not. It's true.
Just for that.
It is because it's showing their lack of critical thinking
Rotation
here.
of the bucket.
It's showing their lack of
Rotation
critical
the bucket,
thinking.
spun fast enough keeps the water inside of it. The
The-
water doesn't care
buddy,
where it's at.
The bucket is the
Earth has a
opposite
handle.
of what the Earth will be. Is the opposite.
But the Earth is also rotating.
Yeah, but these the opposite. Oh my God.
Is
It's
Earth
rolling, right?
bucket shaped or is Earth ball shaped?
Well, kind of more like a white spheroid, but
So nothing like a bucket, right? It's not shaped like a bucket at all, right? A bucket would kind of be like a flat Earth, right? Like we would be on the surface of the water inside the
you're
bucket.
cutting out a lot. I can't hear you.
He's
What's
right
he
though.
saying?
He's right though. Is in your example, you would be saying that the sky would be the bottom of the bucket. That would be your example.
No.
Yes, it would, because otherwise,
Yeah.
yeah,
Force
Yes,
keeping
it
the
would.
water
Yeah, of
inside
course
the
it would.
bucket. The force keeping the water
How can you?
in the
Nah,
bucket,
you're
that's what
trolling,
I'm-
bro. How? You cannot.
The
How
force
can you not
keeping
distinguish
the
the
water
difference
inside the
between the two
bucket.
examples?
That's what I am talking about.
Okay, so what?
How can you?
Okay, so listen, the open end of the bucket. Which way is the open end of the bucket? Is the open end of the bucket
The
facing
water
you?
the end that you pour the water in. Why are you being so
Yeah, I'm
obtuse,
asking.
Randy?
I just asked you a question. Which way is it facing? Is it facing you, or are you facing it away from you?
It would be facing away from me.
Oh right, so you're holding the bucket away from you, with the open end away from you, and then you're going to spin around, and you're going to ask if there's going to be any water left in that. No, there isn't.
Yes, there will.
It's all going to go flying out. I tell you what, why don't you go downstairs, make yourself a cup of tea, right? And then do a little spinny spin in the room, in the living room, or wherever, the kitchen, and hold that cup of tea, away from you and face it to your missus, let's say, and then do a spin around and see whether or not you get a slap across the face from your missus.
Why would it matter which direction? Because
Guy?
if it's facing me, it wouldn't fall out. But if it's facing away from me, it would. Why would water care which way it's facing?
Because it's in a container.
But why would it make a difference, though?
Because
Who cares? It does.
How does the water know which way it's facing?
because of the velocity that it's travelling in. and it sits in its container. If you apply energy into it.
But how does it know which way it's facing?
It doesn't. Well, maybe you should ask it. How about? I mean, maybe you should question it and ask it. How does it know?
I'm asking you.
I'm gonna run the
Because you're
water
saying
out.
that if it's facing towards me,
Hey,
it won't fall out. But if it's not facing towards me, it will be.
Shout out to Good Servant who smashed super chat with, and it's all tricks and technicalities. Indeed, it is, my friend. Indeed, it is. But yes,
It's common sense.
what's
Why it will not fall out if it's facing towards me, but it does when it's facing away from me?
Oh dear me! Is this?
Do you know how a cup works, Lale? Lale, when you have do you know, like, if you turn a cup upside down, it doesn't work nearly as good as if the hole is facing the sky, right? Do you know why that is? Because that's what.
Because of gravity.
No, not because of a word. Because we.
Yes, because of the force
down.
taking it to the center are towards the ground at 9.8 meters per second squared.
Yeah. So where's the walls? Where's the walls around this oblate spheroid? Where's the walls of the container?
The containment is gravity in the atmosphere.
All right. So what does this gravity look like? How do we see the container walls of gravity?
What does it look like?
Yeah. How do we
Drop
see
a
the?
pen on.
How do we?
Drop a pen and you'll see what it looks like. You can't actually see it because it's like, can you see wind?
So we can't see the walls.
Effects of wind.
If I go into the bathroom or the downstairs to get a drink, and I've got a glass there, I can see the walls of the glass that I'm going to put it in, and I know that it's
Ranty, what
contained.
does wind look like?
Hang on, wait a sec. So I'm
No,
containing.
you asked me what gravity looks like.
No,
what
I'm-
does wind look like?
Yeah, but you're not letting me finish my question. You're turning it around on me before I get to ask your question. Ask you a question. So my question is very simple. I can see the container of my glass. Now you've just made a claim. You've made a statement and a claim here that gravity is the walls, the container that holds this water to the globe. So I asked, can I see that? And you said, no, you can't. You just you can drop something and that will show you it. So it's an invisible thing. Is that what you're saying? It's an invisible wall.
Well, it's just like wind. You can't see wind. You see the effects of wind.
You can touch wind.
Gravity is a description of a downward acceleration, Ranty. Of course, I'm not going to see it, but it also accelerates things in every direction towards the center of the mass.
Yeah, but you can feel wind.
I don't know. People keep on cutting out. I can't hear them. I didn't hear what you said, Silver, or whatever your name is.
It's right the hand. Right the hand.
You can touch wind. Can you touch gravity?
You can't touch it. Go grab me a glass
You
of
can't touch
wind.
Are you saying you can't touch wind?
Yes, I am. Go grab me a glass of wind.
Okay. What do you think a cup is? What do you think's in a cup that doesn't have water in it? What do you think is inside of the cup, Lale?
Water.
Wait,
Or, I'm sorry,
Wait,
without
wait.
liquid.
Wait. If me and
No,
you are
no,
standing
no.
outside, hang on. Don't interrupt, Lale. If me or you and standing outside, and I have a cup that doesn't have any liquid in it, is there air inside that cup, Lale?
Yes, but guess what? That's also inside my house
so you
too.
just asked for. Oh, hang on. So you just asked for a cup of air,
No.
and I delivered.
If I'm inside my house, the same empty cup is going to have air in it.
Okay, so the cup is not empty. So the cup has air in it. So you just admitted you're wrong.
No.
So I can give you a cup of air. You admit it.
you
No, I
asked
said
for
you
a
can't
cup
give
of
me
air,
a cup
though.
of wind. You can't give me a cup
What
of
is wind? What is wind, Lale? Moving air?
Moving air.
Okay, so wind is basically just air, right?
Yeah, and if you
Yeah,
go
but
for
if
a
my
jog.
cup is
Yeah.
not moving,
Lale,
and
you're
the air is...
looking so. Thank you for coming on, Lale. Thank you.
Well,
No.
actually, right the hand. If you went for a jog with that same cup, then you would have moving air inside the cup, right? So that would be wind.
It'd be moving when I handed it to him.
But you're not seeing the wind. You're not seeing it because you see through the cup.
Okay, but we just said
Yeah,
touch.
you can feel it.
Touch. Can you touch gravity? No,
No,
because
he
it's not
asked, can you
real.
see gravity?
We're not
And I
talking.
said,
Well, you
can you
can't
see
see it or touch it. If you can't see it or touch it, Lale, guess what? It's not real.
Oh, so wait, wind is not real because I can't see wind.
You can touch wind, Lale.
But
You dumb
see it. You said if you can't
can't
see it
touch or
touch it.
see it, it's not real.
Oh, wait. So you can't see wind. So therefore, it's not real.
No. Oh my God. He's retarded. I said touch, and he says see. I say touch, he says see. I say you
No, you
can't.
said touch or see. So I'm saying if you can't see
if
it,
you can't touch. Listen, no, Lale, listen. If you can't touch it and you can't see it, like
said
I
if you
can't
can't
touch.
see it.
Hang on, Lale. Listen, Lale. I can't touch or see Santa Claus. Do you know why? That's because Santa Claus is not real. Okay, so when you say you can't touch or see gravity, yeah, we know because gravity's not real. That's why you can't see it. That's why you can't touch it. That's why
either,
it
so
can't do
therefore
anything.
it's not real. And you only feel the effects of wind. You don't actually pick up and touch wind.
You don't feel you actually feel the wind. Yes, when you are walking. Hang on. You don't feel the effects of wind. You feel the wind. You're feeling the physical. Hang on.
Your body.
Well. When you feel wind going, when you are outside and there is wind blowing across your face, you are not feeling the effects of something. You are feeling the actual physical air moving and hitting your face. You're not feeling the effects of radiation. You're feeling
air
the actual
across your body. That's what you're feeling.
Leo, you know there's machine that can cut iron or anything with wind, right? With air.
Anyway, back to what you're saying.
Yeah. Anyway, right. Can you?
Anyway.
Anyway, so can you get me a cup of water with a tennis ball?
Yes, I can hand you a cup of water and I can hand you a tennis ball.
No, can you provide me a contained some contained water in the shape of a ball?
Yes, it's called a rain droplet.
Yeah, but I want a drink. I don't want a droplet. I want to have.
Okay.
I want to have a pint. Yeah, but I don't want little ones. I want a mass of it. I want it contained like in a cup.
Exactly.
So
when you turn on your faucet, you get a bunch of droplets that are spheres falling into your cup, and it's contained water.
Okay, so you admit we need the walls of the container to contain it, yeah? So give me the proper. Give me the.
Is there droplets whether they fall into your cup or not?
Yeah, but the cup is a container, right?
Droplets of water are spherical whether they're in the cup or out of the cup.
But how do you get a lot of them to stick together? You have to contain them to get that. They don't naturally contain in a big ball of water.
They stay contained together because of surface tension, just like the basketball.
So could you hand me a basketball size raindrop?
Give me a big enough glass, and yes, I could.
No, I don't want any in glass.
Can I say some hello and add something?
Sure, fire away.
Raindrops are not spheres.
Yeah, they are.
No, they are not.
Bro, a literal raindrop is a shape. Oh my God. It is a shape that is not a sphere.
But it's not a sphere.
It's pointy at the top and round on the bottom. That's what a raindrop is. Do you know what a drop is?
But water doesn't bend.
Get him, Brady.
How can it be
Get him
round
right
if
to
water
You
bed.
doesn't
just
bend?
said a raindrop is a sphere. You're retarded.
You're
It's round
retarded.
at the bottom, but
Good job,
how
Leo.
can it be round at the bottom if water doesn't
A
bend?
sphere needs to be round at the top too. You just said raindrops are a sphere, then said they were only round on the bottom. A sphere is not only round on the bottom. You're just talking out of both sides of your mouth because you're confused.
Hey, show
Answer
me
my question, though.
a raindrop
Answer my question.
suspended in animation.
If water doesn't bend, how can it curve at the bottom?
Bro, you just went from sphere. He went from sphere to
No, I'm
drop to
building
back
on
to
what you
bend.
said. I am building on exactly the words
No,
you said.
you have to build a ball
It's
of
circular
water
at the bottom.
with no
Give me
bucket.
so is the water bending?
We're talking about containment of a water
You're talking about
hang on, Lael,
water.
you're interrupting. I'm bringing it back on track. We were talking about the containment of water. Now, Ranty was saying you can't contain water with a ball. You can't contain water with the outside of a ball. You need the inside of a 3D surface. And then you brain farted and went to, can water bend? We don't care if water can bend. Because if you put it inside a round container, it will form the shape of the container, which is round. So clearly water will form to its container. So that's not the question. The question is, can you contain water with the outside of a ball? That's the question.
But before you came
Or
in here,
or a
water can't
softball-sized
bend.
raindrop that is the perfect sphere.
Yeah, give it a basketball-sized water sphere. I'd love to see that too.
Good luck with that. And hello.
And welcome, yes, welcome. But listen, whilst you're here, can you tell us the all the magic stuff that gravity can do? Because I hear lots of stuff about it. It can do this, it can bend time, it can do all this kind of stuff. Now it's a container. Can you list me the list of things that gravity can do? This invisible thing that we can't see. The invisible thing that we can't see, we can't touch, we can't sense, we can't feel. Can you tell me all the magical stuff that it can do?
So, we know that moving air across the surface of the thing is called wind.
What the hell? What? We know that moving air is called wind. That's what he just gave us right now. We know that.
Oh,
we named moving air wind. We didn't know it. We named it. What are you talking about?
He said you can't touch or see gravity. Well, you
No,
can't.
bro. Again. He said no. You're not listening. He said
Yes,
show
I am.
him. Hang on. He said he's asking you if you can contain water
But he said
with the
you cannot
outside of a
see-
ball.
He said
No.
you cannot see gravity, and I'm saying, well, you can't see wind, but you see the effects of moving air
Wow,
across the
back on
surface of something.
Bro, he literally went back to his script. He was on this script like 3 minutes ago. He just went back to it.
Right,
I'm
okay.
sticking to the fact that you can't see wind.
So
no, he's asking you to contain
You
water with a ball.
You can't
He's
see.
not
No, but I
asking
can
about
feel
wind.
it.
Right, let's go back to the question about all the magical things that gravity can do. Can you list the magical things that gravity can do?
Can I lift? Yeah, I can lift a pen and drop it.
List. Can you list it? Can you tell us flat earthers, you being a glober, all the magical things that gravity can do? Go.
I can lift a pen and what we call gravity can accelerate that pen as I drop it at 9.8 meters per second squared. That's not magic, that's truth.
Okay, now carry on. What else can it do? Tell me. It's
Well,
time.
that's what it does.
No, it's time to shine here. It's time to shine. Tell us what gravity can do.
Just did.
What, you
If
just
that
told me that
matter,
the only thing it can
clear.
do is move a pen, right? Is that what you're saying? That's the limit of gravity. That's the limit that it can do.
Downward is what we call gravity. I was giving the pen as example. A human, a car, a truck, a house. You drop all those things and they will fall at 9.8 meters per second squared.
Because without gravity, it will float in the middle of the air. Is that your belief?
I never said that. Why are you
I'm
being
asking
worried
you.
about that? I'm saying.
I'm asking you. If you take gravity,
meters
let
per
me
second.
ask you. Hold on. Let me ask you, so that
Very
I
good.
don't say it right. I'm gonna ask you.
Steve,
If you remove gravity, bro, if you remove gravity, will that pen still accelerate downwards?
If you remove the acceleration downward at 9.8 meters per second squared, which we call gravity, then things won't drop at 9.8 meters per second squared.
Yeah, but you just switched
They
it
will
around
say-
there. You just switched it around there. You just said that
what
if
I
you
said before.
you just switched it around and you just said that if we remove a thing that makes it drop to 9.8 meters per second squared, and then you said, and we call that gravity, right? That isn't what he asked you.
Measurement of 9.8 meters per second squared.
Where'd you get that
towards the
measurement from?
down, if you will, is what we call gravity.
And I'm asking you, if you remove
that
that,
downward acceleration, which we call gravity,
things will
then
stay put in the middle of the air.
I've never had that experience.
So they will stay put in the middle of the air, right?
I have no idea, because the downward
Where did you get the
acceleration always
measurement?
occurs. If it was
You have
really
no
bad,
idea. Oh.
How can I have an idea of what would happen if it's never happened?
That's my point. That's what I'm trying to show you. That you can name that thing because we have never experienced otherwise. You can name that thing or create a so-called story, and because we never seen otherwise, I mean, your story is gonna be real in your head, but it's just a belief, though.
It's not a belief. Things do travel downward at 9.8 meters per second squared.
And upward and sideways.
Where do they do that? 'Cause
On Earth?
if I drop a helium balloon, it doesn't do that.
I wish fish could talk, to us humans, so that they tell us how ridiculous this statement that things fall to the ground. I would like to, for a fish in the middle of the ocean, tell us how things are all over the place, not falling down or up.
No, hang on, silent. I want to know where things fall at 9.8 meters per second.
Yeah, that's a good question, actually. Yeah, and I like that, actually.
Any
The
person
fish.
Would that
The
be in a
fish.
vacuum chamber?
walking from a building will fall at 9.8 meters per second squared.
Okay, tell me the fish that are swimming in the ocean, right? What direction do they go in?
If you drop that from a building, it would travel 9.8 meters per second squared towards the ground.
The fish.
If I drop a helium balloon?
The fish that are swimming in the water, the fish that are swimming in the sea, the fish.
Out of the water and drop it off the building.
The fish that are living in the oceans, the fish that are living in the oceans right now, which way are they moving?
In the ocean.
Yes, which way?
Whichever way they want to move. I'm not playing your semantical games, Randy.
No. Which way?
Space, right?
If a fish drops a wood ball, which way? If a fish drops a wood ball, does it fall to the ground?
If I pick up a fish and drop it.
No. We're talking a fish. A fish is underwater, right? He has the wood ball. He drops it. Does it fall to the ground?
Pick up balls, so I don't know what the heck you're talking about.
Let's say so I dive underwater and I pick up a wood ball and I drop it. Does it fall to the ground underwater or will it float to the sky?
If the density of the ball is greater than the density
see how density comes in once you go underwater?
See how density works?
Density?
Weird. It's weird how that works. It's like once you get past the surface of water, density stops and gravity starts. Weird, Leo.
Yeah, that's it.
Because density is the ratio between the density of water and the density of something else.
Well, there are two factors: the density and the acceleration. And we can consider those two independent variables, and Anthony inspected one of them, but we didn't inspect the other.
Crow X, the acceleration is based on the ratio, is dependent on the density of the material, and how do I say this?
Drop a feather and drop a bowling ball in air, not in a vacuum chamber.
No, you don't have to be in a vacuum chamber to find the 9.8.
That's where they got the 9.8 meters per second.
No.
Did you investigate any of this?
No, that's where they demonstrated it. Demonstrate is not finding out.
So why is it that suddenly gravity doesn't seem to work as well in underwater?
Well, it is working. It's just different.
Oh.
Why is it different?
Well, that's like your car going forward and it starts going backwards and you take your mechanic and he's like, wow, it's still working. It just works different.
Because gravity is a force that acts on all sides of the Earth.
Yeah, but you brought in water. Hold on,
Hang on. No. Where
My
is
statement.
gravity a force? Lael, I'd like a citation showing gravity as a force.
Why do I have to provide you anything? You haven't provided me anything.
You haven't asked me for anything. I'm asking you for a citation that gravity
If
is
I
a
show you a
force.
citation,
And that's
give
it.
me one positive evidence that the Earth is flat.
Right, listen,
Yes.
I have a line of questioning. We will get back to that, I promise. But I don't want to lose track of this line
Okay,
of thought.
I'll let it go for now, but
Yeah.
I will hold him to task on that one.
Yeah, you can have a think about that. Listen, so you've got one rain droplet, right? And it's falling down, and you say that these droplets can form bigger droplets and bigger droplets and bigger droplets, etc., and that gravity can hold all of these water droplets together as one big body of water to the globe, right? Yes or no?
Yes. That's not a yes or no question, though.
Okay, so
as water falls, the surface tension in the water plus gravity cause it to form into a spherical shape.
Okay, so
and cause the water itself to bend.
Okay, so there's surface tension laterally through the water, right? So if you're on the top of the water at one side and your mate's a mile away, you have a lot of water between you have a mile of water between you, but it's essentially laterally, and gravity is affecting you equally, right? And you've got the same forces working on you. You talk about gravity being a force. What happens if you go 10 feet under the water, right? So you're still going through that same amount of water, or a lot less water actually. So gravity is still having an effect, right? Because it's going through 1 mile of water between you and the other person, but now you're just going 10 feet down, right? So you're still in the same body of water, right? And the gravity is still having an effect through all those little molecules of water, right? So it's still affecting it. Why does it behave differently?
So you're going from water falling from the sky and having surface tension, and surface tension and gravity cause the water to form into a sphere, to asking me about what happens in water at 10 feet under the ocean.
I'm talking about if you're on top of the water in point A and your mate, let's put him 10 feet away. You've got a mate who's swimming with you 10 feet away, right? You still have the same amount of water between you, right? You've got 10 feet of water between you. And gravity's working on you at this moment in time. Gravity is working on both of you. But what happens when you go 10 feet under? When you go 10 feet down, why then does gravity change and stop behaving the same as it does when you was just 10 feet higher up? I mean, you're still 10 feet away and you're still through water, and gravity affects water, right? And gravity's holding water to the ball. So you've got all this gravity working on the water molecules that you brought up when we first started this conversation. And now I'm asking you, what's the difference when instead of being 10 feet away at the surface, you're now 10 feet away under the water from your mate? Why is gravity behaving differently to you then?
Well, here's the thing. Water necessarily isn't acting differently
I didn't say water, I said gravity.
Okay, gravity itself, the pressure of 10 feet above the ocean and 10 feet under the ocean isn't that much different. Now, if you're talking like 100 feet...
I was talking 10 feet. 10 feet.
Well, water has weight. The weight of the water is greater than the weight of the person. Would you disagree with that?
So what's the difference? So tell me about gravity. Tell me why gravity is behaving differently. What happens if I get a piece of wood, right, and I put it 1 inch underneath the water, right? Why does it pop up to the surface? Why doesn't gravity pull it down?
Buoyancy.
Buoyancy? Right, okay. Because Crow said density before.
Oh, man.
If the effect of displacement of water is greater, has a greater ratio on the item that you're talking about,
Yeah.
it's going to float.
What about air? What about air? What about the dense? What about the same applying that same logic to air then? Why don't you apply that? Why don't you apply that same logic to air?
How do I pick up a continent and put it on the water?
Just apply the same logic that you've just applied to me there. You've just applied some logic to me, right? Inside the water. Now I'm asking you to apply the same logic in the air. And I want you to drop an apple. Or a pen, right?
And the acceleration downward is 9.8 meters per second squared. What's your point?
No. What did you just say about density?
I'm saying that if you measure the rate of the fall...
What did you just say about density? You just said something, you just quoted something about density and buoyancy inside the water. I wanted to ask you to apply that same logic to the atmosphere.
Buoyancy and density wouldn't exist.
Why? That's a bold statement. Can you explain why?
Because those two forces require gravity.
Why do they?
Because gravity forces things to the center of mass, and buoyancy has to do with displacing that.
Have you got a proof of that? Have you got an experiment that proves your claim?
Yeah, floating wood.
Who?
Floating wood. A floating aircraft carrier displaces the water and becomes buoyant.
No, I didn't ask that. I asked for mass attracting mass.
Yeah, you fall towards the Earth.
No, you just said
9.8 meters per second squared.
You just said that gravity is mass attracting mass, and I asked you.
I did not say that.
What did you say then?
I said that a boat and wood displace enough water that the ratio.
So that's not gravity then.
To float.
That's density. That's density. That's not gravity.
But they all have weight. Water has weight, boat has weight, and humans have weight.
And you said that and you said
weight.
And you said that gravity is and you said gravity is
right.
Right.
Something. This weight word that you're talking about.
Yeah, he needs to use weight. He needs to use the word weight. Yeah. Go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, right. It has gravity inserted in it.
Without the downward acceleration of 9.8 meters per second squared, we would not weigh anything. If that was acceleration downward was 0, we would not weigh anything.
Can you prove that?
Yeah, you're wrong. You're wrong.
I can't prove that because I can't take gravity away from the Earth. I can't take that acceleration.
So you can't prove your claim.
You can take away the effect of gravity 9.8 0 G flight.
That's not taking away. Know what conservation of momentum is?
It has nothing to do with conservation of momentum.
It has everything. The fact that you don't understand what they're doing up there, and you think it's zero gravity, bro, you need to take
No, I think you just put a fancy word in the argument.
You're roboting a bit there, mate.
Start going down. The conservation of momentum of you going up, it will give you the sense that you're floating, when in reality you're just falling. But since the airplane is going down, it's gonna take you a little bit to catch up.
Because
it's really simple, bro.
Traveling faster than you are falling, then it takes longer for you to fall, so it feels like you're floating, but you're still falling at 9.8 meters per second squared.
No, you're just falling. It's the conservation of momentum of the airplane going up. It's gonna push you up a little bit. When it goes and starts going down, you start falling. It gives you the sense that you're floating, when in reality you're not.
Perfect. And if you measured the rate at which you were falling, I agree that you would be falling, and it would feel like you're floating, but you're not. I agree with that. I don't have any problems with that. But if you measure the rate of your fall,
zero gravity.
9.8 meters per second squared.
Is it 9.8? Hold on, one sec. Is it 9.8 meters per second squared at 10 miles high?
That everywhere. It's
funny that, because I had the rumpus on yesterday who told me that wasn't the case. It's 9.8 meters per second squared at sea level, and it gets less and less the higher up you go.
I guess if I was in what flat earthers reject outer space, then that would be true because I'm far enough away from the mass.
No, I'm not talking about outer space. I'm talking about height. That it doesn't get as fast as that the higher up you go.
I'm jumping from an airplane at 35,000 feet, and they measured the speed rate at which I'm falling. I'm guaranteeing you it would be about 9.8 meters per second squared.
So about, not out, because Rumpus says it's different. You know what I mean? I don't know if you know the Rumpus.
Oh, I know him.
Yeah. So
I'm guaranteeing you. How high did he say higher was? You're just saying higher. That means nothing though, because 1 foot is higher than 0.
exactly, and he said that it's a relationship like that. The higher up you go, the less you fall at that speed. Sorry?
It's higher than 0.
Higher than 0, yes. So anything above 0, and you automatically start to not fall at the same speed.
So you're telling me that...
I'm not telling you anything. I'm telling you what Rumpus told me yesterday and told everybody on the panel and told everybody in the audience.
Are you saying that Rumpus is saying that if I drop something and we could actually measure it from an inch from the ground, dropping it, that it wouldn't be 9.8 meters per second squared? Are you saying that's what this is telling me?
No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that he said the higher up you go, the less that effect is. It's not 9.8 meters per second squared anymore.
And I'm asking you, did he give you a height at which it changes from 9.8 meters per second?
And I said, I already told you that. I already told you that. No. So why, you're just trying to ask a question that you already know the answer to, because I've already told it you. So, but you're completely skirting you're completely skirting the question.
How high is higher? That's the question. Because if it's like...
How high is higher? I don't know. It's your model. I'm not a globe earther, so I don't know these stuff. This is why I thought I would put it to you, being that you've come on as a globe earther, and we've had other globe earthers come on too, and we've got you telling us one thing, that it's a constant, and then we've got somebody else telling us something else.
But when you don't give it, when Rumpus doesn't give a height at which it changes to, like, let's say 9.7, how am I supposed to know?
Well, you're not. You told me definitively, and my audience right there, that basically, unless you go up to space where you've got no gravity effects, you just float, that you're not going to have this effect. So either you're right or he's right. One of you's wrong. Which one is it? Are you right? Is he wrong?
I want to know how high is, though, is the problem. To just say... You're kind of just hand-waving away, Ranty, is the problem.
No, you said it was 9.8 constant, so it doesn't really matter. So if it's higher and it changes ever so slightly, then if it's higher and it changes ever so slightly, then one of you's wrong and one of you's right. Which one is it?
Yeah, if I jump out of an airplane at 35,000 feet, I consistently move towards the Earth at 9.8 meters per second squared.
Well, how cool? All right, okay, fair enough. Right, but what my question still remains though: which one of you is right? Because we like to be pretty accurate here. We want to know which model we're talking. And if you've got one set of ideas and somebody else has got another set of ideas, we want to know what the model is. Crow, maybe you can help him out. Crow.
Let's say
he's struggling. He's struggling. I want to speak to Crow.
Wait, Rand, really quick. Let's say it's at 40,000 feet, and until you hit 35,000 feet, you're traveling at 9.7 meters per second squared.
So it's not 9.8 constant then. That's what I'm saying.
No, just listen. I'm being hypothetical here because I don't know.
So if you don't know, then I'm not that. Well, that's what I was asking. If you don't know, I'm going to ask Crow then. Right, Crow, do you know?
Wait, just answer my question though.
Crow, do you know?
It depends on the equation for gravity, where you divide by the radius square. So we have the radius of the Earth squared, and if the radius increased, we divide the radius of the Earth squared by that new radius squared. That would be the ratio of between the 9.8 and the new acceleration.
So do you have an answer?
If you are away from the Earth by, let's say, another radius, if your height is like 6,300 kilometers. So the gravity would be you divide by 4.
Okay.
Because it's twice.
So this
it's
is
twice the radius.
okay. So Lael was wrong when he said that it's a constant. Then, yeah.
No, it's consistent. You consistently fall at a rate.
I'm just.
Until you get that. So, will you answer my question now, please?
Well, no. I just want to make. I just want to get clarity on this.
See that
Hold on.
wrong, that it's not constant.
Okay, that's cool. Right. Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Jump all over me?
Yeah,
Fine,
but hold on. But there is an outstanding question, though. There is an outstanding question from Rob Keane, who asked you a question before. So before we jump on, before we move on, maybe bring him back.
I want to finish this train of thought. Say like I'm in an altitude above that which is 9.8 meters per second squared, and it's down to 9.7. Once I hit that level of 9.8 meters per second, do you think I'd feel that difference?
I don't know. I have no idea. You're claiming it's gravity. You're claiming that something's pulling me down. You're claiming something's pulling me down, and I would think, having skydived before, that I'm just falling. I don't feel that I'm being pulled down.
I'm saying you're traveling downward, accelerating 9.8 meters per second squared.
No, I'm being sucked towards the Earth.
That's not what I'm saying.
No, that's what. Literally, if there are 4 people skydiving on all 4 sides of a globe, right? They're all being sucked to the globe. They're not falling, they're being sucked towards the globe.
8 meters per second squared.
Yeah, I'm just asking, I'm just telling you. You asked me, would I feel that? And I said I would feel like I'm just falling. I would feel like I'm falling rather than being sucked. Right?
You were being sucked, though.
So, yes.
Are you using that word? I just said you would feel like you're falling, and you're saying sucked, and I never said that word.
No, but I said sucked. I'm saying sucked. Because if you've got 4 people on all 4 sides of this globe, and they all skydive at the same time, they're all moving in one direction and being sucked towards that globe center. Right? They're not falling, they're being sucked towards it.
They're not being sucked, they're just falling towards the Earth.
They are being sucked towards it. It's your model.
Towards it. Falling towards the Earth at 9.8 meters per second squared.
You just don't get it, do you? They're being sucked towards the globe. Do you see how ridiculous your model sounds when you actually put it into those terms? 4 people on all different sides of the globe, all jumping out of a plane. They feel like they're falling downwards. What's actually happening is the Earth is sucking them towards it.
So
right?
You're saying each person is a 90-degree angle from the other, and they're jumping out of a plane at the same time, and they're falling towards the surface of the Earth.
So they're falling, not being sucked. They're falling, they're not being sucked. Then, if they're falling, it's a flat plane, mate.
I never said they were being sucked. Why do you keep putting the word sucked?
I said sucked.
I know, but I never said that.
So what are they doing then? Are they falling? Are they
sucked? And
Where's the force?
Are they falling, or are they being sucked towards it?
They are falling towards the Earth.
So how can they all be falling towards the Earth in different directions?
Because gravity accelerates them towards the Earth at 9.8 meters per second squared.
So it's sucking them towards the Earth.
I do not say sucking.
It's the same thing. It's sucking them towards it. Right, go ahead, Rob. You had something to say. Who just interrupted then? Was it you, Rakia, maybe?
Well, Rob left.
No, he's there. He's there. There we go.
Yes, I had something to say. I just want to know where the force is, and a citation saying that gravity is a force.
You want me to go find that for you right this second?
Sure.
I already know you're not going to find it. So if you want to go on a wild goose chase, go right ahead.
What about the citation that says Earth is sucking us to it?
Yeah, can I get that
Good one.
citation, Ranty? Sucking. Can I show me that citation?
All right, so I'm going to keep saying it's been the
It's like
Earth
a mini
is
black hole, right?
Hey?
Isn't that how Earth is working?
Of
Like
course
a
it
little
is.
black hole, sucking
Yeah.
everything.
Show me the citation, though.
It sucks.
It's your model.
One from you.
It sucks the water to it. It sucks everything to it. Everything's being sucked downwards. The 4 skydivers on the 4 sides of the Earth, as they fall out, they're not falling downwards. They're being sucked towards the centre of the globe. That's why they go in that direction, right?
Nope, they fall towards the Earth.
Yes, they fall. They don't do anything other than that. They just fall.
At an acceleration called 9.8 meters per second squared, which Newton called gravity.
Which is sucking them to create
I
the
didn't say
force.
sucking.
Yes.
Neither did Newton, neither did Einstein, neither did any other scientist,
You're
just
not,
you.
yeah, but you're not going to get away from this idea that you've got 4 people all skydiving.
The gravity is sucking you towards the Earth.
You've got 4 people all skydiving on all 4 corners of the globe, and they're all going in different directions and all heading towards being sucked towards the globe centre. It's as simple as that. They're not falling down.
Above.
They're not falling down.
They are falling towards the landmass that is directly below them.
So they're falling, not
Or
being. So they're falling. They're not being. They're not being attractive. They're not being sucked towards the globe. Then they're not being sucked.
I'm not going to fall into your game. I'm not going to use the word suck because I
You're
don't
sucking
think
him
that's
in,
the
Ranty.
proper
You're
word.
sucking him in.
I know. I'm getting him there, but he just said he's not going to fall into it. So I'm happy to leave it at that for now. I'm happy to leave it at that for now. Because it all started because he was going on about water bending. I don't know that a flat earther doesn't. I don't know if a flat earther that says water is flat, as in it never moves. We all know it moves. It's part of the oceans.
No, you're misrepresenting what I said.
You started asking about waves and it curving, and you brought a tsunami up. You brought a tsunami up. That's what you said.
Let me finish my statement. The flat Earth mantra says water at rest finds and ceases level and therefore it's flat. And I said, show me an example of the ocean at rest.
Dead tide. Dead tide.
That's impossible. Why would you even do that?
Okay, so at a dead tide. Yeah, but at a dead tide, so that's between obviously high tide and low tide. You know, there's no forward and back, with no swell inside of it, no wind-driven waves. That's pretty much close to no movement. I've seen that several times. Yeah.
Go out in the middle of the ocean and tell me there's no movement.
Why are you now moving me towards the middle of the ocean? You just asked me.
Why does it matter? It shouldn't matter where I'm at on the ocean.
Yeah, but you just asked me.
You want to complain that we moved the goalposts?
Yeah, no,
it's
exactly.
Not, it's still the ocean.
It's exactly
the goalpost is
so
the ocean.
If it's still, you just asked me to find a place that does that, and I just said that I've been to I've seen this loads of times myself personally. With a dead tide, no swell, no wind-driven waves, the ocean lies still, right? And then you asked me to. Then you said.
Demonstrate
hold
where
on.
that's at.
Then you said, go into the middle of the ocean.
They demonstrate where that's at.
Blackpool.
So if I'm standing at the beach in Blackpool, there will be a day where I can find where the water doesn't wash up higher onto the beach.
Yes.
Or wash up on the beach at all. Any amount of.
Yeah, it's called a dead calm, mate. You get them.
Not more dead than my toilet.
Probably not. But obviously you don't go down to the beach very often. Lyle.
Actually, I've been at the beach before, and I've seen weight.
Okay, how many times have you been down? How many times have you been down at the beach?
Why does it matter? Every single time I've been to the beach, waves come in and go out.
Yeah, waves. You're right.
Water's
Waves
never
come in
completely at rest,
and
not
waves go
moving.
out. So, what gives the wave? What makes the waves? What creates the waves?
If water is consistently moving, is it at rest? That's the question.
No, just a minute. You just talked about waves coming in. You've said you've gone down to the beach, you've seen waves coming in, and I've asked you, what creates the waves? It's a very simple question. What
The
creates the
movement
waves?
of the Earth, the distance from the moon, the gravitational pull of the moon. There are many sources of the reason why there are waves. And
No.
Not consistently not moving.
No. The pull of the moon would be for the tides. That's not waves. I'm asking you what creates the waves. I can ask you again, if you like, or I can just tell you what can create waves.
I told you multiple sources.
Well, okay, tell me again. What was the first thing
The
you said?
rotation of the Earth.
So hold on, wait a minute. So the rotation of the Earth creates waves.
Which causes wind, which
Can you prove
causes
that?
high and low pressures, and those high and low pressure causes wind, and also the distance to and from the moon, moving closer and further away from the Earth.
I'll tell you
Got
what.
any citations for any of that shit?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, 5th grade science book.
I'm glad you're here, but
The
you
5th
know,
grade science
I've heard all
book
this
will
shit
tell
for
you
5
that.
years.
Yeah.
We're
So
beyond 5th grade science. Thanks.
anyway, just because you've been down to the beach a few times and you've seen some waves at the beach, you think that there is no time ever that waves cannot be on the ocean. Is that right?
No, that's not what I said. I said, show me a time when the ocean is completely at rest. You cannot show me that time.
Dead tide, yes you can. Dead tide. So that's the absolute point where it's neither going out or going in. Happens twice, 4 times every day.
And you can show me a place on the ocean where it's always that it's doing that.
A place on the ocean. If you're stood by the water's edge, you will see that.
And what if I move 300 feet out from the water's edge?
Yeah, but why? You didn't ask me that. You didn't ask me to move 300
I
feet.
said, show me anywhere on the ocean where it's
And
at
I've
rest.
just said, and I've just said, at the beach. Hold on. On the beach here at Blackpool, you can see a dead tide.
Why won't we go beyond the seashore?
It's dead
Why
simple.
won't you go to the middle of the ocean or anywhere else?
Because you didn't ask me that. You've just asked me to. And why are we even talking about this? It's ridiculous. You asked me.
Just because you don't see waves.
Right, fuck off. You
Just
can
because
fuck
you don't
right
see
off.
tides
Fuck
coming
off.
in.
Right, you're muted, you twat. What a cunt. Right. Right.
That took you long enough.
Jeez. You know, I mean, that's just ridiculous. He asked me to name a place where you can find no movement on the water. I do that. I say, yeah, down at Blackpool Beach, no problem. He then says, well, what happens if I move 300 feet away? Or put you in the middle of the ocean? But you didn't ask that, you asked me to. And I have no idea why you even wanted to talk about that anyway. Just like it had no relevance to anything.
I think he
will
was
tell you
talking
why.
about waves,
Doesn't-
not just the tides.
I'm going to tell you why. He wants to avoid my gravity force.
Mm-hmm. He's welcome back another day.
How about the force? What do you call it? Centrifugal force.
Did you think
Where
it... Right,
can
Crow.
you demonstrate that?
Hold on, Crow. Did you...
demonstrate it?
Yeah, demonstrate it in a minute, but just ask me this one question. Do you think he was trolling?
No, he was trying to prove the point that water, with any slight amount of forces, it's not level.
Doesn't make it curve, sir. It's a stupid point. If you're going to back
It's-
up Lil in that, you're stupid too.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day,
I
we
think
all
you're
know...
stupid. You just don't know what you're talking about. Haven't you seen liquid form a sphere over a magnet? You've never seen that?
Sure, man. I have never
okay,
seen
but
it do
hey.
it over a large surface, deep water,
So that
over
also-
a large ball. Have you?
Did you get the concept? I want you to get the concept.
Concept
and then
theory,
enlarge the
yes.
scale.
I've seen it. I've seen a raindrop, you moron. please. Fifth
Show
grade.
show me a
Go hang
raindrop
out with
that's a
Lil.
perfect sphere.
Raindrop
me
cannot
one that's
be
a
perfect
perfect
sphere,
sphere.
because of aerodynamics.
Oh,
If it falls in vacuum, oh no, it cannot fall in vacuum. But you know, it's spherical from the bottom, and it's teardrop from the top because of the aerodynamic.
or because it's falling.
It's falling. It has a speed, the air flow, and cause that shape of teardrop.
Yeah, but he's right though. He's right. The water is falling. It's hitting the wind below the droplet, and that's why it's wider on the bottom, and the top part is cut like it's wrapping the air is wrapping the drop, right? That's what it's doing. That's why it creates that.
But why is it so difficult for this argument to even sink in? We all know that the oceans move. We all know that there are times that you get an absolute dead calm. But for the majority of time, we know that there's waves. We know that there's currents. We know that there's fluid dynamics going on. Why? Does it make a difference if, let's give just a rough idea here. Let's say over a 5,000 mile span, right? We have a height difference from trough to peak of, let's say, 50 feet all the way. Different areas. Sometimes we've got 50-foot waves, from trough to peak. But across that entire span, that's it. For the majority of that 5,000 miles or so, if you was to actually, make a calculation, 5,000 miles with just a 50-foot trough to peak, it would come out as flat, because it's inside, it's not curved, it's moving, it's wobbly, it's bendy, yes, we agree with all that sort of stuff, but over the span, it's flat. Why is that so difficult for you to understand that?
Yeah, it's flat, assuming a flat Earth.
It's curving, assuming the globe. Show us the curve. Show us the curve. Show us the curve then. It's as simple as that. We can show you the flatness. We can show you things that you shouldn't see on a globe. We can show you it far further. Then you have to go into this other realm of refraction and looming, right? We don't have to do that. We can say we can see the flatness, right? When we ask you to show the curve, you turn around and you can't show us the curve. We can show you flatness. You can't show us the curve.
I showed the curve from your own video with the horizon drop.
Did you see the image that I put out before?
Is it like 2 feet, 5 feet from the water, something like that?
No.
Okay. No, I didn't see it, I think.
It's just a pretty cool image that I
with the spoon?
Yes, with the spoon.
Yes, I've seen it.
So what do you think of that then? What do you think of the spoon image?
I don't think it's relevant to the globe or the flat Earth.
Well, no, you've just said. Hold on, I'm sharing it now, and you just said that you don't think it's relevant. You've talked about things dropping down and in perspective and the like, and we've got a 35 meter high spoon here, right on the right, which to my eye is higher than the center, the center of the camera. I'm going to say it's higher than the camera, and here, just let's say it's about 1.5 miles away, we have a 38 meter high attraction that is lower in perspective than this, and lower than the camera center. Why is that? Why is this? Why does that look lower like that? What's going on here?
Oh, okay, yeah. So
that's 35 meter high. We're what, 25 meters maybe? Maybe here, maybe that's the center. I don't know, maybe something like that. There's a 35 meter high spoon. We go 3/4 of a mile away, and we've got the 32 meter high Ferris wheel, and then we go about another 1/2 mile further away, and we've got a 38 meter high attraction that is substantially lower than everything else. But why is this so difficult? This is perspective. Just in your model, you'd say, well, if that's 35 meters high and that's 38 meters high, that should be higher if you live on a flat plane. But listen, even on your globe model, there's only about 1.5 miles between this object here on the right and that object there on the left. There's only about 1.5 miles difference. There should be very little curve between that. But perspectively, it is ginormous. Why do you think that is?
But hold on, this picture debunks both models.
Oh, does it? Right, okay.
Okay, so you are maybe 27 meters? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I'd say that's a fair assumption, you know, as a fair guess.
Yeah, so that 38 meter 2 poles, they should be above the horizon. They are higher than your eye level, but I see them below the horizon.
Perspective, mate. This is what perspective does.
Perspective, if something is at eye level, it stays at your eye level. If something is higher than your eye level, it will be higher than the horizon and your eye level.
This is perspective, my friend. I want you to look at the bottoms of these. See the big red lines here at the bottom? So I've put the big red line in the bottom of the spoon. I've put the big red line in here at the bottom of the Ferris wheel, and the big red line at the bottom of the attraction. And also we've got 2 lots of red lines. We've got the thick red line annotating the bottom of these 3 objects, and we've got the thin red lines 1, 2, 3 annotating the high parts of these. Can you see a relationship here? Can you see something that's happening between the 2?
Yes, I can see, and it doesn't make sense in all models.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, can you see what's happening? Can you?
If I look at this picture, I think.
Yeah, but can you see what's happening? Can you see what's happening with the? Can you see how they're eventually going to meet in a point? You know, if you put this 35 meter high.
I'm not paying attention to the base. I'm paying attention to the tops.
Yeah. So the floor's ramping up to eye level, yeah, and the tops are ramping down towards the horizon. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
That's how perspective works.
Yep, and eventually they'll all occupy the very same pixel. Eventually, at far enough distance, a tower, Blackpool Tower, for instance, would occupy just 1 pixel.
Yeah.
But
the problem is, let's say that you are this camera is on the 5th floor of a building, and you have another building near those 2 poles, and the other building is also 5 floors. So the top floor will be at your eye level and at the horizon.
But how you're not accounting for any kind of refraction here, are you now? You're bringing it back. You're bringing it back into a model that doesn't have any atmospheric effects going on.
Well, it doesn't make sense on the globe either. I'm not just attacking the flat Earth. I'm saying as perspective, if something the same height as me, if it's like 2 miles or something like that, I think we can ignore refraction for the sake of simplicity. And that building will be at the same level as me and will be just on the horizon. Those 2 poles, they are higher than me, and they appear lower than the horizon. I mean, if those 2 poles, if you take a copy from them and put them beside the spoon, it should be higher than the spoon, and as they go away into the distance, they will still above the horizon. See, the tip of the spoon, if you take it further away,
so
it will not drop below the horizon.
So this spoon here, yeah, because obviously the horizon is the floor. You know, the area right up to the area up to the horizon is all floor, right? It's floor the whole way. On a flat plane, it's floor. It's floor. All of this is floor. You know, everything underneath.
Floor, but
yeah, everything's the floor. So it doesn't really matter. You put something on the floor, right? It's always going to. The base is always going to be on the floor, and everything above that is going to be higher up, right? Just the way it is.
Yeah, the top will never touch the horizon. If you take it further away, the top of that thing, if it's higher than you, It will not touch the horizon.
Well, eventually it will, because it'll just occupy 1 pixel.
Yes, okay. It will touch the horizon, but will not drop below the horizon.
Well, it will, because eventually it'll go so small that you don't see it. Eventually you'll get 4 of these spoons in 1 pixel, and because you've got 4 of these spoons in 1 pixel, you won't be able to identify any of the spoons, so they won't be there.
Yeah, but I count 20 pixels on between the horizon and the 2 poles.
Between the horizon and the 2 poles. What, over here? Where are we looking now?
At the 38 meters.
38 meter, over there.
Yeah, see, unless I'm mistaken about the horizon.
Yeah, you've got land over here, so this is land over here, and you've got clouds coming down over the mountains. This is the mountains over here. That's mountain, you've got Liverpool, Southport over in this direction, Wales further down. And you got the mountain ranges, yep.
I thought that black area above the poles is just clouds on the horizon or something like that.
Oh no, that's what, here? Oh, here, up there,
Yeah.
way up there. Yeah, that's clouds up there.
Okay, so
But what you're doing here, you're distracting from the very simple point here that you've got a 35 meter high spoon here, and you've got a 38 meter high attraction down here that's only about 1.5 miles away. And look at the thing. We don't know definitively what the height of this camera is set at. We don't know that for sure. But one thing's for sure, it doesn't seem to follow perspective, like I say. It doesn't. Your view of perspective is absolutely warped by this, because it's doing your head in, because you can't process it. Because this is what perspective does. You've got this idea that everything should be nice and linear and you can just move things away, but it doesn't always work like that. Because you're not including the atmosphere and stuff like that.
That we work with.
Sorry?
I mean, whatever on the floor will rise to the horizon, whatever above or on the ceiling will go down toward the horizon.
So when you see a plane, right, flying, so if we had a plane coming across here, and it's going further away and going further away, what's going to happen? It's going to start to lower down, isn't it? It's going to get lower in your perspective.
Go lower until the horizon.
So, a bit like the sunset then.
Can you point to the horizon in that
Hold on,
picture?
yeah, but hold on. A bit like the sunset though as well, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're watching the sun track, it might look quite high up here, but the further away it goes, due to perspective, like you say, it lowers down, doesn't it?
Yeah, if it's moving on the Earth, yeah, due to perspective, it will get lower towards the horizon.
Okay, so you appreciate that could explain sunsets too, then?
No, because the plane, when you look on when it's overhead, it's bigger, much bigger than when it's disappearing near the horizon.
The what? The plane? Did you say?
Yeah.
The plane. Sorry, say that again. I missed what you said. The plane.
The plane would shrink.
The plane would shrink as you get to the horizon.
All the way, but all the way from over your head until the horizon, it will be shrinking on and on.
Yep, so the plane's a physical object that you can actually sit in and move, and yes, it will get smaller as it goes towards the horizon, yep. Also, it doesn't have a great big, it's not releasing a lot of energy and light.
Well, I don't know about energy. That would need citation and explanation. I mean, just citation because it's very new for me.
Well, I just thought it was a cool image to show. I was watching the C cam. I was actually I was hoping that Brian would be able to go and repeat the observation that we did of the distant landmass. Because it looked like it was a really good day actually for doing this observation, because you can actually just make out the mountains through here. But this is with a crappy camera, and a very long way away. But there's the mountains there. Like, you can definitely make out the mountains there. Anyway, I just thought. So when I saw this, I thought, do you know what? That is a really cool image. I wonder what the height of these are. So I got the heights of them all. It confuses you, doesn't it? Because you've got 32 meters here and you've got 38 meters there, and that's only about 3/4 of a mile or so between the two, and that's substantially lower.
No, what confuses me is not the 32 meters, it's the 38 meters and the spoon. Yeah. And can you help me, can you estimate where's the horizon in this image?
There somewhere. Yeah.
Okay, so can you yes, move towards the 2 poles, the 38 meters?
Yeah, well, that's different because over here this is water here. When you move from about here, this is land now. So this is all land over here. Land.
Okay, your estimate. I'm just anything.
Land, more land, more land. But you don't know how far, you know, the high horizon would stretch to if you had more land. The where the water meets the land is about here.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Now it makes sense. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I'm with you.
But you know, obviously you're seeing the land, so you would see further, so it would be higher up.
Yes. Okay. So so the 38 poles are higher than the horizon. That's okay. I'm with you now.
Yeah.
And the 32 meters. This is supposed to be higher than the camera, and so it's supposed to be higher than the horizon.
Yes. Well, that would be higher than the horizon. Yeah. We need to get a height for the camera, but perspectively, yeah, it's all over the place, isn't it? You can't. You couldn't.
The camera is lower, at least lower than 30 meters.
I would think so. Yeah.
Yeah, looking at the percentage of your eye level and comparing to that spoon.
What does Aaron Armstrong say? Flat earthers think that smoke is less dense than air, and that's why it rises. What do you think to that? Is that something you would say?
For me, I don't know what's smoke, because what matters is the temperature of that smoke. If it's hot, then it's less dense and it will go up.
There we go. Just kicked myself from the.
Mute yourself. But I have yeah. There was something in my mind when there was argument about the, like, for example, air bubble. They go up, they don't go down. But then if you look at a bottle that's not completely full with water, and then you flip it, what goes down and what goes up?
Hey, Brandon Toy, how's it going, mate?
I'm just curious why you stole my name, to be honest with you.
Oh, hang on, who's that?
It's Ranty, funnily enough, mate.
Ranty.
What?
Oh,
Yeah.
right, okay, yes it is Ranty. Sorry, what did you say?
I was just wondering why you stole my channel name on YouTube, that's all.
Stole your channel name?
Yeah, you waited until I'd got terminated before you changed the name from Flat Earth Ranty to Ranty. And a lot of people in the community noticed, that's all. Quite a lot of people, actually.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I bet you don't.
Sorry,
it's like how you've got just because you've got no idea about flat Earth either, and how the world is definitely spherical.
Hang on, wait a minute. Hold on one sec. So you had a channel called Ranty, okay?
Certainly did.
Okay, and what was it? What was it about? What was it?
Well, it wasn't about flat Earth because I'm not stupid.
Okay, so what was it about?
Does it matter what it's about? Really?
Well, I'm interested to know, what was it about?
And
how long ago? And how long ago did you have your channel? When was the first time you? When did you release your channel?
I've had my channel about 6 years now.
Oh, is that all? Oh, God. My original Ranty Rant channel was 11 years ago.
Wasn't Ranty though, was it?
No, it was Ranty Rant. That was my original channel.
Yeah, but it wasn't solely Ranty, was it?
When did I actually make this channel? Let's have a look.
You made it after my channel.
hold on.
I've already checked.
Hold on 1 sec. Let me just have a. You said 6 years ago. I'm not too sure actually. I'll just have to check. Don't know how I'd do this. Let me go. So anyway, so what's the point here? I have no idea what you're going on about.
I wondered why you decided to change your name from Ranty Flat Earth to Ranty when you saw that there was no other channel competition in the search results of Ranty.
Huh?
Because you did change your name from Ranty Flat Earth.
Yeah, what happened? You know, you may have been around, you may not have been around. Very simple. When I'm doing the live streaming, people would just call me Ranty, and it wasn't highlighting, so I wasn't able to actually see that they were making a comment towards me, because it would only make a comment towards me if they typed out Ranty Flat Earth. And not a lot of people want to type out Ranty Flat Earth. It's easier to type Ranty. So for me, following the live stream, seeing as I'm getting 150 or 200 people watching, it's much easier to just see one word Ranty and be able to see what they're commenting rather than miss everything because it doesn't get highlighted. Hope that helps. Anyway, what's your problem here? What's your issue?
There isn't a problem. I was just wondering behind your reasoning and cause. That was all.
Right. Okay. So anyway, so you're here now. So what are you doing? Are you releasing your new channel called Ranty?
It's already out, mate.
Oh, you got a new Ranty channel, right? Okay.
Yeah, that was it. I just wanted to make you aware. That's all.
Of what?
What? Just that a lot of people have been telling me in the community that there's someone else called.
How many people have been telling you? See, I've been called Ranty.
Thousands.
Yeah, okay. I've been called this for what? How many years? A long time. Longer than your 6 years. Put it that way.
So surely you've known after your long time on.
Oh, here we go. So
that flat Earth's just a complete load of bollocks. Surely you know that.
What is your?
Hold on.
Just
a sec. So I'm looking at my profile here, and it says that I'm not going to say what changed. Well, I don't change my password very often, so it doesn't really matter. But it says that my password was last changed. Get this. In 2012, right? So, how many years is that? That's 8 years ago, right?
But,
that I last changed.
Your point is?
Well, if my channel was last changed, my password was last changed 8 years ago, that would mean that, yeah, I had it at least 8 years ago.
Can I ask him something, Ranty? Can I ask him something?
Sure, yeah.
Because what is his channel about?
Yeah, I'd be interested actually. What's this new Ranty channel about?
It's not about Flat Earth. It doesn't matter on what the channel is.
Well, it is, because if it's nothing to relate with the Flat Earth, then you shouldn't be concerned about the other Ranty.
Yeah, you've got thousands. You've had thousands of people. It must be a really popular channel, I would imagine.
It's actually proving how spherical the Earth is.
So it is against Ranty. Okay.
So it's an anti-flat Earth channel called Ranty. Cool.
It's
all right.
Flat Earth.
Is that your is that your announcement to the world that you're doing an anti-Ranty flat Earth channel? That's pretty cool. I imagine that, jumping on them and hijacking my channel and then coming on and saying I've got an anti-flat Earth channel out there. Awesome, guy. That's a pretty cool way to jump on and get some subscribers.
I can't wait for you to see.
Now that's convenient. Now that's convenient right there. That is convenient, like a convenience store. What's your best? What's your best proof there, mate? The other Ranty, the hijacking Ranty. What's your best proof?
Yeah, hijack.
I sound like a cowboy. Hijacking Ranty. I like that.
Hijacking Ranty. I like it. So do we call him imposter Ranty? Maybe we call him imposter Ranty. How's
that? Imposter would suggest that I'm trying to impersonate you, and trust me, mate, I'm far from impersonating you.
Okay, but so you're going to be a Globe channel, and you've got thousands of people that wanted you to call yourself Ranty. Is that right?
No, I've been named Ranty for years and years.
Okay. So you're a ranter, are you? What made you choose the channel name Ranty then?
It was actually a name that I've had a while across many forums.
Okay, but we still don't know what this channel is about, though. You know, I'd be interested. Honestly, I'm genuinely interested. I'm not trolling it. I'm interested to know.
It's about proving the flat Earth wrong, and you think I'm joking.
So your original channel, the one that was apparently shut down, the one that was apparently shut down, was an anti-flat Earth channel, right? Called Ranty.
Yes.
Okay.
And then coincidentally,
I never came across this Ranty, this anti-flat Earth Ranty channel.
Just like your research, you didn't try hard enough. So
it would seem so, and it's funny that nobody else, I don't think, in the community has ever heard of an anti-flat Earth Ranty. So. Well, anyway, have you got a channel? I tell you what, if you've got a channel link, though, and you want to put it in the Discord right now, I will spam it in my chat right now to all my audience. So if anybody wants to go and subscribe, they can go over to the anti-Ranty Flat Earth channel. Yeah, is that good?
Oh no, I don't want any filthy flat earthers on that channel. That is.
Oh no, trust me, it'll just be the Globers. There'll be 50 or 60 Globers watching that will want to join. Trust me.
Okay, well, it was lovely talking to you, mate.
All right, okay. See you later, my friend.
Very smug, very smug.
Well, that was interesting.
stole his channel name, Ranty, you imposter.
Oh, yeah, I'm such an imposter, me. Hang on, what's this? Hello everyone, welcome to the most wonderful... He's put something in there. Yes, I had a channel before that. I wore a bra in Bambino. What the hell? What's this? Oh. Alright, hang on. Alright, let's have a look. Let's have a look at this. Here we go. Right, I'll put his channel up, so let's have a look. So his channel's called Ranty.
Ranty, can
yeah? Hold on.
Go on. Sorry.
So anyway, so his channel's called Ranty. He has 2 videos up currently. Let's have a look, see. Subscribing to the new channel. Blah blah blah. What's that? New video on the way. He's got 2 videos out anyway, and he's got 3,650 subscribers. How I Lost Everything, and I Let Bambino Ruin My Life. So a video from 4 days ago and a video from 3 days ago. So if anyone wants to go and find the anti-Ranty, there they go. The anti-Ranty, there we go. Might watch his videos later.
3,000 subscribers with 2 videos.
Yeah, I mean, well.
He's done well.
He has. He has done well. Be interesting to see what he.
Not a flat Earth channel, huh?
Doesn't look like it. He's some guy wearing a bra. He's got a bra on. Oh well. Yeah, I suppose it's everyone to their own, I suppose.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, right. Let's get back on track.
Ranty, can you share that image anywhere?
Which one is it?
The one with the spoon. Spoon image.
You want me to share it where? In the chat?
Yeah, I'd like
or show
to
it?
look into it.
You want to look into it?
No, just share it. Yeah, I want to save it, look at it.
Oh, right, okay, no worries, no worries. There we go. There you go. Ian Adams says, "Is that the Ranty who likes sniffing panties?" I have no idea. I thought he was a troll, actually. I'm still not 100% sure that it wasn't a troll that came in and pretended to be this guy. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Well, I wish him luck with his Ranty channel. Anyway. Sounds like speak truth, seek truth, speak truth, Gleam says. Hey Gleam, why don't you hop on for a minute? Oh, pretty cool. Christian Kumar, you stole my name too, Ranty. Krishanti, he says. Okay. Right, Crow, did you get that image that I sent?
Yes, I got it.
Okay, cool. Right, anybody got anything they want to talk about? Because I've got an open discussion tonight, open panel, open discussion. So, anybody got something they want to talk about?
Yeah, okay, I got something to read because I don't think I fully understand it.
Okay, sure.
It's about the copyright, and it said creators should only upload videos that they have made or they are authorized to use. Now, how do we authorize now? And then that means they should not upload videos they didn't make or use content in their videos that someone else owns the copyright to, such as music tracks, snippets of copyrighted programs. What does it mean, snippets of copyrighted programs?
Small sections that you could just take and add them to your video to fluff them out, because it's not content that you've actually made your own. You know, it's somebody else's work. Even if it was, I don't know, 20-second clip.
Very tiny.
Yeah, even if it was just a 20-second clip of, I don't know, somebody filming a dog, right? It's still their content. They filmed the dog. You didn't film it. You just took their video and used it. So, there's a lot of arsey people out there that will do stuff like that.
The final one, or videos made by other users without necessary authorization. So how would you get the necessary authorization and put it? I mean, if I made a video and I tell you, okay, Ranty, put it there, what's the procedure for you to get the necessary authorization?
Well,
before YouTube, you know.
Well, I suppose, you know, in this community, we don't really ask people's permission, especially the Globers. They just rip off the flat earthers content without a second thought. You know what I mean? And I suppose if you really wanted to be arsey about it as a flat earther, you could go and you could sue their arses off them and take all their content if you really wanted to. But you know, we're not like that in this community.
But
other people are. Other people are. Listen. Yeah. So how would you get? You would ask them. You'd put it on the video. You'd just say, "Can I use this? Whatever." You know. They would respond. You take a screenshot of that, so you've got it. Then you just upload the video. And if it did come back and they said that, you know, they would then have to physically get in touch with YouTube and report your video, right? So they would have to do that. The other side of the coin is if you actually signed up to the what's it called, the content creators thing that automatically registers your video, every video that you put up as copyrighted. So if anybody uses that, then they will get notified of it, right? But
yes, that's the problem.
Yeah, but like in this community, for instance, I'm not like that. I don't have that that feature activated on my stuff. That's why people, you know, they use my content all the time, you know. And I'm not going to report them for it. I'm not going to say, hey, I made that video, you know, and it's my work and you're making money off of that. You know, that's not what I'm not here to do that. You know, if they want to use my content, great. That's where I look at it. But a lot of people are very, very, like Nathan, for instance, won't do that. Nathan, you know, his content is his content, and he's very, very care. You know, he will go after your videos. You know, but I'm not.
Well, I think the problem, even if you know you use a video from Brandon Toy, I think maybe YouTube automatically will demonetize you
No.
until
No.
Brandon say
No. Brandon would have to physically go to your channel and report it and say, this is my content, this is the timestamp that I'm picking out, this is my original video where it's already uploaded onto my channel, and then they would put the complaint in, and then somebody would manually look at it, check it, and then if they held up the complaint by Brandon, then they would give the option when he filed the claim. Do you want to monetize the video, or do you want to give the person a strike? So it's up to him then, when he puts the complaint in, what he wants to do. So he's going to look at the content and go, right, okay, I want to give him a copyright strike. So he will then do that if he really wanted to. But it's not going to automatically happen, but it will do if you use sort of like Sony stuff. So if you use anything off Sony, or I don't know, just like anything that with Tom Cruise in, let's say, because all they're very, very pernickety about their content. Warner Brothers, all that stuff. You wouldn't be able to use it.
I think that's the new change, that it's now being done automatically. And that's what I understood from Astronomy Live.
Don't think so, because if that's the case, then all the videos out there currently that have got all my work in, I'd be getting emails all the time saying, we've found copyrighted material. What do you want to do about it? And I'd have the choice to decide what I wanted to do about it. But that isn't the case, because I don't think that's what's happening.
Okay, let's try an experiment. I downloaded your cat video, the thief.
Yep.
So I'm going to upload it.
Yep.
On my channel, and you can download it.
Yep.
And re-upload it again and see if it's going to get a strike automatically or not.
Yeah, just what? You want to see if I'm going to get a strike against myself for my own video that I've had to unlist and re-upload again? Why don't you just re-upload it onto your channel and see if you get a strike?
Because my channel is not monetized.
So?
And maybe it's just a
you still get a strike
plan for them to.
No, you'd still get a strike anyway, whether you're monetized or not. Monetizing it doesn't make any difference.
I'll try that.
Yeah.
I'll try that, and I'll send you a video from mine, or you can download it. It's a short one, like 1 minute, and you can upload it and see.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, so quiet.
Gleam, how's it going, mate?
I gotta go for a minute.
Okay.
Lights with that.
Gleam, Gleam, Gleam. You there, friend? Say hello.
Hello, check one. Give
Hello.
me 2 minutes.
No worries. No worries. What's this somebody said? Is this a change in the YouTube terms of service? I haven't seen it. I haven't seen that. I can't see that working, to be honest. That every video put out there is going to get copyrighted against other people. Can't see it. I don't think they could enforce it. Right.
Can you hear us, yeah? Hello?
Yeah, yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, cool. There we go.
Did you see the imposter Ranty?
Oh, I was listening to everything. I was so tempted to come in and just go, who the beep are you? But as soon as he started stuttering, when you started questioning, he's a liar. Definitely. 1,000,000%, because he started going, and that's a perfect tell that he's thinking up a new story. when you were saying about, I think it was your first major question. It was like, so what do you do on your channel? And it was like,
Yeah, he said, oh, I make anti-flat Earth videos. I was like, oh, yeah, okay. I don't think he does, but
tosspot.
Why did you take my name? Why did you become Ranty instead of Ranty Flat Earth? Well, yeah, it's easier to stream from. I get one, like, all double beg FPVs put in Ranty, right? So it highlights for me in red, right? But if they were to type, if I was called Ranty Flat Earth and they just type Ranty, it wouldn't highlight for me. So I wouldn't see it, I wouldn't see it highlighted. And I missed a lot of comments, especially when I was doing the streams. So it was easier to cut back, for streaming purposes.
It's hilarious though. It's like getting an email in your Hotmail account saying, "You bastard, you stole the Michael Francis account." It's amazing. I think it's amazing. And did he say it was his neglect? Oh, I let it go or something like that. Well, that's your own fucking stupid fault then, isn't it? Idiot. Why?
He said he lost his channel. I don't know how he lost it, but
yeah, that's obviously your fault.
Yeah.
Because these narcissistic globers need someone to blame.
Well, I've got a ranty, challenge now. Hey, listen, if he's buying subscribers, all well and good. It's up to him, innit? At the end of the day, 2 videos and 3,000 subs. Happy days for him.
I will say, when I search YouTube today for your name, normally it comes straight up with just your channel and your channel only.
Yeah.
But today it come up with 2 other channels, which I didn't even look at. I think one of them was a girl, and yours wasn't even there.
Really?
I had to physically, I had to scroll down at least 6 or 7 videos before I got to an older video of yours from a couple of nights ago.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Well,
that's how they roll. They've got to censor someone.
That's it. They're definitely trying to come down hard on these type of things, aren't they? They don't want this content out there, do they? Really?
Yeah. I swear the AI is getting immense. I was watching a Microsoft video yesterday about AI. They've just released a thing in Azure. It's like an online database thing, and what it does is, built into it is a library of detection to detect how many people are in your shop from CCTV. But not only that, it does the perspective thing of figuring out how far everyone is away from each other, and it kind of draws a triangle in between each other and figures out the distance, what that would be. It's immense. Immense what they've already got out now, literally.
Are
you still there?
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
We haven't been hijacked by the other Ranty, have we?
No. I'm just looking at the chat though. The chat seems to have frozen. I don't know if it has frozen or not, but it doesn't seem to be moving much.
I think they should let it go.
What's that?
The chat, if they're frozen. Let it go, let it go.
When's your next single out anyway?
I don't know. I'm chilling back. I've got a big project on at work at the moment, so it's put it this way. My guy and me will be doing some work, but first I've got to get drunk with him on Monday because it's my birthday. Hey shorty, it's my birthday. Go and party
like it's your birthday.
Yeah,
like it.
It will be Monday night. Bosses give us a day off, so why not?
I'm just going to check the stream on. There we go. My ears bleed. There we go. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. It did look like it was frozen for a bit.
Yeah, I think his ears bleed because of the Frozen song. Not blowing up.
Well, it's a pretty slow evening tonight. It's probably because I didn't have any direction with what I wanted to do on the show. But I did title it for an open discussion. Have you got anything you want to talk about, Gleam?
Well, I was just cracking up at Lael as well. I was listening to the whole thing, and Lael is just so immensely irritating. It's funny.
I've never spoken to him before, I don't believe.
He's a regular at Jose's, definitely.
He was asking.
He's the star at Jose's now.
Oh, come on, really?
No, he's the main guy at Jose's.
That's shocking.
You notice when you asked him about waves, and the first thing he said was Earth rotation, moon pull, and one other mainstream thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how ate up with it he is. Had nothing to do with waves. That's Lil.
It's funny.
Ranty, I've got a question.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. On one of your little pictures that pops on your screen from time to time, there's the guy on the moon with the buggy in the background.
Yeah.
And as I was looking at that, and I genuinely don't know this, maybe there's an answer, but how is it that NASA knew what material to make that spacesuit out of? How did they know what the environment of the moon was? How do they know it wasn't concentrated gaseous carbolic acid? Do you know what I mean? Like, how do we determine this is what we have to make the lunar lander from? This is what we have to make the tires of the rover from. This is what we need to make the suit from, so that all of these instruments and people don't get destroyed or eaten up. Or where did that information come from? I'm just on Wikipedia looking at the previous Apollo missions, 8 and 10. None of them make any mention to testing the atmosphere or anything that would prepare them for what they were going to find when they actually got there. I'm just wondering if anyone knows that information.
Well, funnily you should ask that, because I was. Hang on, let me just get my thing back up again. What's that? Funny you should ask that, because before the show started, I was looking at the original NASA images. Because somebody said, "Oh, I bet you've never really looked at the NASA original images, have you?" I think it was on the last stream that they said that. So there we go. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys. So I managed to get to this page here. It's called, it's apolloarchive.com. And I got through it through NASA. So I had to go through NASA, and it gives you all these different moon landings, things here. So you can go to all the different Apollo things. So go to Apollo 11, and it gives you the original photographs. You have to click them on the left here. What astounds me is that the images, the horizon is never as far away as it should be. It's always dead close. I just need to find, obviously, a particular image. It doesn't really matter, you got to get them on the moon. Mission photographs, here we go. So, view Earth from orbit. Look at that. You see the image on there?
Yep, and it looks more like some kind of incandescent light than a sun.
Yeah.
But isn't it interesting that this was the image that we get now from Apollo 11, right? Do we see this kind of quality imagery from the moon?
I think Tom Hanks went back and redid it for them.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah, I suppose they're...
Why would there be glare?
What, here?
Yeah, from the sun. It's not coming through the atmosphere. You're on the moon, right?
I don't even know if
those things are from the aperture, and the number you see of them depends on the number of rings of closure on your aperture.
Okay, I got you.
Anyway, the Apollo 11 Hasselblad film. You got a whole bunch of stuff on it. It's really quite interesting, actually. You got these Aldrin behind. Here we go. This is an interesting one. So, how far away do you think that horizon looks?
100 yards? 200 yards?
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't expect it to be further than that, would you? It's not. I don't know, the 100-meter racetrack. Looks like the end of the 100 meters, doesn't it?
Actually, it kind of looks like a black wall with a kind of light shining on a kind of a matte paint or a screen.
Yeah, that could
So
be
it's
it
not
too.
moon cave?
But
it's hard to believe that's not really on the moon. Come on, guys. What's wrong with us?
Does anybody know how far the horizon should be if if this was taken from one of these cameras on his chest?
3 miles.
It should work just like, quote, on Earth.
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
Maybe they changed the formula. Instead of 8 inches per mile squared, it might be greater because it's a smaller diameter. But it's the same formula, basically. Instead of 8 inches, it might be 12 inches or 14 inches.
So that's 5873.
Is the moon the same height?
Too much robot to understand.
All right.
There we go. Here's another one. How far away is that horizon? Is that 3 miles away?
It's closer than the last one.
I'd agree. I think it's... Oh, Toady says, horizons appear close for 2 reasons. There's no atmosphere. Right, okay. And light levels and the size of the moon is smaller than the Earth. There are some good distance ones on Apollo 17, he says. Okay, so did it get bigger, Toady, on Apollo 17?
It's amazing how Toady and others speak so assertively, like they know, like they were there, and even if they weren't, they've consulted and they automatically know these little factoids and explains the questions we have about the legitimacy. It's amazing.
Well, that image would be question saying here, no elevation camera. Why do everyone assume that the one with the camera is at the same level with the other guy?
Actually, that last image looked like one of those little toy models that they've used on the moon. Little soldiers, but instead of soldiers, they're astronauts and they're models that are anchored into the set,
They look like toys. Fat.
I'm sure they use scale models as part of their trickery.
Okay, so this is obviously taken from some kind of elevation. He's higher, than he's looking down at this guy down here. But look how close the horizon is. It's weird, that, isn't it? It's weird, that. Do you think it's down to the atmosphere, Crow, that's just foreshortening the horizon? Is that what it is? The lack of atmosphere is foreshortening the horizon. You would think that the lack of atmosphere would extend the horizon, because here on Earth, we get atmosphere, and atmosphere creates blockage because you can't see as far through atmosphere.
And why would you have a hot spot beside the astronaut there? And why are the shadows diverging instead of running parallel to each other? The leg of the craft and the astronaut's shadow. They're spreading apart from each other, and there's a hot spot between them on the ground. The ground should be evenly lit, more or less. It's like a hot spot from a light.
I don't see the...
Here's the flag. Do you think that horizon is several miles away there?
No, that's not horizon. That could be the edge crater.
Yeah, but the crater, it's not a crater that's flipping up though, is it? What's interesting is on most of these missions, it's always the same, where you've got a right close horizon.
Okay, if you want this image, like the full image, you go to Google Earth, and then you select the moon, then you go to that place and find these images.
This is NASA's official website, buddy. You can't get more official from NASA than these guys.
Well, Google is taking it. I'm just saying to have more vision of one direction.
You're breaking up for me. I don't know about others.
Right. How close do you think? How close do you think the horizon is? The shadow of the lunar lander is touching the horizon.
Yeah, I can see that. And
We've got it wrong. We've got it wrong. NASA just to show
Bum,
it
bum,
ridiculous.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
pretty
NASA
damning
deliberately-
right there.
That's the
They
edge
deliberately
of,
land right next
like
to the
a hill
Terminator line, just so that we can see it.
hiding the horizon.
Say that again, Effie.
Oh, it's not
Like
the
the edge
horizon. This is
or
where you're all wrong. They
it's like
deliberately land and
the
conduct
peak
their
of
mission
small
right
hill.
next to the Terminator line.
Ah, the Terminator line. Right. Okay. So it's the Terminator line.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah,
It's trying
okay.
to show us all what's going on when we look at the moon.
It's a maybe. It's a maybe. I cannot prove it, but you know, sometimes it's a way out.
See,
Unless someone.
to me, it looks like the horizon's about 50 meters away.
Yeah, 50 feet.
You know, that's how close it looks to me. I mean, I might be wrong, but you know, I'm normally a pretty good guess at this kind of thing. Gleam, give us a guess, mate. How far do you reckon that horizon is there?
Look at the shadow. It's right on the Terminator line.
You could kick a football from the landing craft, whatever, to beyond the horizon.
Well, especially with the 1/6 of the gravity, right?
But the moon is obviously a lot smaller than the Earth, right? You know, it's a lot smaller.
That wouldn't make difference. It wouldn't bring the horizon.
Yeah, but Crow, you're a globe earther. You're supposed to disagree with me. You're not supposed to agree.
Yeah, what's wrong?
Yeah, we see this anyway in all of these. You know, all these images will finally get to something. Yeah, look at this. How far away do you reckon that horizon is?
You show
I-
me
I-
the
I-
most pictures. I don't see.
I think he's taking out the trash.
Anyway, I don't think these horizons are very far. WS says Ranty, moon horizon, if there is no hills, will be 1.51 miles away. From what elevation? From what elevation are you given from that, WS? From what observer height would that be? Be interested in that. So that's 942. Look at 943.
There's no way that's a mile away, that horizon.
Yeah, but it's space, right?
Yeah, but look at the detail you can see on the ground, not far from the horizon. Like if I go a mile, if I look a mile up the road from where I am, I can't see any detail on at ground level with my eye.
Yeah,
Well,
but
technically speaking, the Hasselblads had a 2.5 by 2.5 inch frame for every photo, which gave a lot of grain if you had fine grain, and a good lens system, you could get great detail with a Hasselblad. No question. But these didn't even have viewfinders.
But hang on, Jimbo. The foreground is in perfect focus. So how is the horizon in good enough focus to see the detail?
It amazes me because they couldn't focus these things. They had no window, no box on top to look down in. They had to focus blind. So it's a mystery to me.
They destroyed the technology in those cameras.
So there we go.
That's right.
2 kilometers.
And it's painful to rebuild it.
So, do we think that it's at least 2 kilometers then? I mean, it looks pretty flat, you know, between here and there. You know, they say that the horizon should be 2 kilometers away. Anyone seen 2 kilometers worth of distance there?
That's a football field in that photo.
Yeah, I'd say so. A football field. At the most. Yeah.
Is he cooking a barbecue there? What's he doing?
I don't know.
Looks like an alien spider behind him.
I think we should look at these horizon ones more closely. But we see this in all of the, from my preliminary scan through before, it's the same on all of these missions. They're all the same. You know, you get this very, very close horizon. Like I said, anyone might think that this is a hangar somewhere, if they didn't know any better.
Oh, it's probably out in Area 51 where they made a simulated moon surface there with actual replicas of the craters.
Yeah, I don't want to rain on your parade, Ranty, but where's the moon again? And where are these men, supposedly? There's no pictures being taken from.
Come on, Dave.
Sorry. I didn't mean to do that, but who cares where the horizon is on the set? And no man took that picture.
Well, I agree with that. But if we're going to try and debunk them nowadays, we need to use the standard logic that they use. I mean, we've been through all the other stuff. You know, the dust on the moon. You know, there's no dust on the lunar lander. All that kind of stuff.
Shadow angles.
We haven't really measured the horizon distance. Well, we know that where the cameras are situated on all of these pieces. It's not like sometimes they were kneeling down and sometimes they were jumping up in the air. We know they were just walking around and having these cameras attached to the chest. So, you know, we can be pretty sure of the, you know, to within a half a foot, let's say, of what their elevation was. So
there's an engineer, Ranty, who did all that from Europe. I forget where, but he did a bunch of YouTubes on exactly that, using parallax for all their photos from NASA. Does an amazing analysis. Says they faked it and proves it's studio, and even does some extraction from the photos where you can see a door on the back of the set in that, well, beyond the horizon where it's supposed to be horizon. He plays with contrast a bit, and he winds up with seeing a door frame, you know, where people could actually open a door and walk through. So somehow there are door portals on the moon too, apparently, when they were up there filming. Oh well.
You see
yeah,
these.
It's repeat.
You see these laser reflectors. Professor Phil Bell. I was having a chat with him before a couple of days ago about this, and he said that they can fire a laser from the Earth through the vast vacuum of space to hit this reflector here, this little square thing here, and it to bounce back the laser beam and come all the way back to the place where it started from. And they also are able to use some sophisticated weather data that they can collect here on Earth, so they would account for the refraction needed for it to leave the Earth at the correct angle, travel all the way through the vacuum of space, hit this reflector, bounce back, and then re-enter the Earth's atmosphere, encounter the same weather conditions, refract back all the way back to the observatory. Right?
Well, here's the thing, Ranty. Shortwave radio operators pride themselves if they can do this one achievement. It's called a moon bounce. So-called not all of them do it, but when they do or claim to have done it, they get this little reward. But it's the same basic idea. Instead of bouncing a laser beam to get a reflection, they claim to be bouncing their radio signal off of the moon during the time that they're talking with their quote moon bounce. So bouncing waves off the moon apparently does not take a little reflector and a laser. It's done relatively commonly by this group of people called amateur radio enthusiasts, and they have a special reward for those who quote achieve this difficult task. So, and NASA claims to have had a a ship fly over the moon and use a laser to map it. And what they do, drop millions of tiny reflectors? So to say that, wow, we have to shoot a 1,000,000,000-watt laser and we get 1 electron back, and hey, that's proof we've got a reflector on the moon. It's a joke. It's a joke. We have lightning 24 hours a day across the Earth. That interferes with a lot of radio. A lot of things interfere with... Have you had a cell phone that actually got every single call you ever made through without dropping you? Pretty amazing. But they can send from a tiny antenna and radio 93 million mile signals through the atmosphere of Mars, through space, to Earth, and pick up the rover's nice images. Well, when you know radio uplink and stuff, what they claim is satellite uplink, you have data packages. If your data packages aren't complete, you can't get your image. When you transfer data efficiently and important data, you use what you call a checksum. If at the end of the transfer the two checksums don't match, the process is restarted. It's just a way to make sure that things are whole and complete when they get from one computer to another. So incomplete.
Here we have, you know, they're in the lunar module now, right? I mean, you've seen that tweaker thing that they reckon went down to the moon. Does that look like it was capable of keeping the atmosphere out and the atmosphere in? Did it look like that to you?
Well, these guys had...
This goes back to my original point, Ranty, that as far as I can ascertain, like if you fast forward to today, and let's say they come up with some cock and bull story that they're sending a man to Mars, they will argue, okay, we've already had unmanned missions there, we've tested the ground, we've tested the atmosphere, blah, blah, blah. But if you go back to the moon, I can't find any evidence of an unmanned landing on the moon. So when it comes to building the tweaker hut and building the spacesuits and everything else, number one, how did they even know what to build? There could have been 100-foot deep dust on the surface of the moon, and as soon as the lander touched down, it just sunk 100 feet into dust, and that dust was corrosive and everyone died instantly. If you're going to build something, you have to know what to build and how to build it and what to build it from. How do they know any of that information?
Right. Do you
also, they had to spend 7 days in space traveling in their sealed thing. 3 men in a sealed unit that had to go to the bathroom several times during that time. Now, how did they handle that? I guess they had the right stuff.
Can you see that this this was apparently the moon as viewed from the Apollo 11 command module, Columbia, after the trans-Earth injection? That was a load of waffle, but apparently this was taken from space. Looking at the moon, I mean, the P1000 does a very similar job to that from here down on terra firma. What do you think? Do you think that could, you know?
I call that taken from the ground.
Anyone else?
Yeah, it wouldn't. Yeah, translunar injection is they're orbiting the Earth. They make a burn to make their orbit bigger to intersect with the moon. So
we don't.
Few hundreds kilometers. I know, few hundreds kilometers of the Earth. So it's not that much closer.
I'll second my own opinion then. I second that.
Do you think though that this image could also have been taken from right down here at sea level, or from an observatory, let's say in the Himalayas, so it takes you out of the atmosphere a little bit?
Hey Krill, what are they burning? You said they make a burn. What are they burning?
Sorry, Crow, you're breaking up there, mate. Yeah, no need for any more of that. Go ahead, Crow.
Yeah, so that image is a few hundred kilometers. Not sure exactly. Not more than 1,000.
Okay, so you were asked a question though about this burn. What did they burn it with? How did they do the burn?
Fuel.
Aaron, are you satisfied with that answer?
No. So does this burn involve any fire in space?
Crow?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just asked a question there, mate.
Yeah, they burn fuel.
And okay, what is the effect of this burn? Is it like fire or feathers? Or
Crow? You falling asleep?
Yeah, here.
He's asking you questions.
Who?
What do you mean who? Aaron? You just
Can you hear me, Crow?
Aaron. No, I've got Aaron.
You can't.
Forget there. Okay.
So, been a good show. Gotta go.
Alright, see you later, mate. So has he got you blocked, do you think, Aaron? You can't hear what you're saying.
That could be. I was just wondering. He mentioned burn. I was just looking for a little more info on what that meant, but maybe next time.
Hey Paige, how's it going?
Yeah, sorry I haven't got headphones on. Everything's good. Just listening.
No, I'm on Apollo mission 12 at the minute. I'm just looking through some of these images here. As I say, that horizon just seems
Apollo mission from somewhere down here inside a make-believe moon.
That's the one. Well, if anybody believes that they're actually walking on the moon up there, I mean, come on, do me a favour.
Well, if they can show me that they can produce air pressure without containment, then I might start thinking that all these other things are possible. But until somebody shows me that, you know, you can have air pressure created with no containment whatsoever, then no, we're stuck in here. We're inside a container. Nobody's getting out.
Don't know what's happened with this image. Can you see that? He's like illuminated.
Yeah, the lighting seems all wrong in these pictures, and that horizon is just right there. It's not, you know, like a mile away or something.
No, you're right. But a glober will tell you that because there's no atmosphere up there, that's what makes it look closer.
No atmosphere makes it look closer.
Yeah,
Hang on.
That's what Tony said.
No, that would be the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Because our atmosphere creates, like, you know, just think about fog and stuff like that. Atmosphere creates blockage, not less. Like that's just silly. That's all backwards.
What's this up here? It's blue.
Yeah, I'm with Paige. You'd be able to see further, right? More detail, further distance, and you know they supposedly land in craters. So I don't know. I mean, you know, I'm with her though. No atmosphere means you see further.
My phone's just about to die, so I might drop out on you. Sorry if I do.
No worries. No worries. So, anybody know what the name of the last mission was? Was it 17?
Yes, as far as I know, 17.
Because Toadie wants us to go to 17. Because he says there's mountains in the background of that one. Maybe that's why they did. Maybe that's why after they did number 17 and showed these mountains that the.
Is that the one where they went dune buggy?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Should we
I
have a
like
look?
that one. That one's cool.
Let's have a look at 17 then. They got the pre-flight ones. Actually, there's a lot of images on this one. 17, they took a lot of images. Launching to the moon. Lunar photos. Close
What
up
was the one
view.
where they all got killed by aliens? oh, never mind. That's a different movie.
Right. So here we are with a hill. There's still no massive horizon there. Where's the horizon? You know, where's this distant horizon?
This is so fake.
Yeah, he wanted us to move away from the flatlands that shows a very close horizon to look at the hills that obscure the horizon. Right? Because that makes sense, doesn't it? What was wrong with looking at the ones without any hills that showed us that the horizon was like 200 feet away? You know? Don't know why he put us on this to look at this. Maybe he's getting nervous. Distracting us from... oh, there you go, what's that? Look at that. Apparently with the earth in the background, right? I've never seen this image before. What do you think of this one, guys?
Fucking nonsense.
Gleam? So this is number, so if anyone wants to look for this, it's AS17 134 20387. Let's have a look at 386. So 386 doesn't have the moon, the Earth in it. 385 doesn't have the Earth in it. That one doesn't. That one does. So 384 does. There's another one. Why has the moon changed its? Why has the Earth changed its orientation? Can you see how the Terminator line? Can you see where that's facing? It's facing downwards, right? Can you see that? On that one.
It's so small. Oh, there you go.
And then on this one, the Terminator line's that way. Maybe it was the way the camera took the photograph, eh? What do you think?
I bet you they have a good excuse.
Is it the same sort of image? It was 384, wasn't it? Huh.
Sorry, I don't know what happened there, Ranty, but yeah, I said that I checked the angle of this and it works out right because they're on the right-hand side.
Well, I don't know. He's obviously upright. The human is upright, so you can triangulate a position through him that he is upright because he's holding the flag. He's not off center. He's not dancing on one leg, so he's definitely upright. So that's 84, 87, and he's upright. He's upright. So in both images, he's upright, but the Terminator line in both is different. Does that make sense? You know, you could run a line up from his centre through his helmet, but the Terminator line's facing that way. There's 87, 84. I don't know, I'd have to line it up. But did you say you'd already done it?
Yeah, I'd already done the angle, and the angle's possible because it's not that low on the horizon, and also they're over the right-hand side of the moon.
Okay.
That's where the landing site for that is.
No, I'm not. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about why is the two Terminator lines that seem to be in a different orientation to each other from two images that have been taken almost immediately, one after the other. You know.
Yeah, no, I haven't looked into that, but you'd have to put them side by side so I can see.
Right. I'll have to take a print screen of that then. Unless you can download the image.
See, the weird thing is in your
can.
Discord, when we're looking at your live screen, we're not actually seeing the image. I have to go to the stream on YouTube because that's sharing everything.
Really? What, you can't see this?
No, I can't see the full big photo. However, I switch over to the live stream on YouTube and I can see that it's there. It's as if Discord's only sharing that one window and it won't share any pop-ups, whereas your YouTube is sharing your whole screen.
Okay. Hold on then. I'll get these side by side.
Yeah, do that.
So that's
do that,
84. That's 87. Copy image. Put that back over there. Right, let's bring this over. Right, I'll reshare the screen. Here we go. Right, have a look in the Discord now. You should be able to see.
Yep, I can see that perfect now.
Okay.
You're going to have to rotate one because if you can see, he's moved round.
Yeah.
It's like from gone a crouching position.
Okay.
To a standing position.
Right, so. How's that?
No, you have to go more. If you try and line up the helmet peak, or the aerial will be a good one.
What's wrong with that?
If you look at the aerial.
The aerial. Oh, right, okay. About there?
Yeah, that looks about right, yeah.
Okay. Right, well in that case then, the moon...
Well, it is a bit. It definitely is a bit.
Yeah. We don't know if we're accurate though. The only way to try that is to put a line in, do it in white, and run it from the edge. Okay. Well, that's accurate enough. Right, so do you think that's lined? Do you think that's lined up?
Yeah, the way are you good enough for now, but then just cut out the actual. If you can, cut out one of them and put them side by side, and you'll see the actual angular difference. It's not much. If any.
I don't know. I think there is a bit of a change there. Anyway.
Yeah, it's got to be gravity. It's something to do with gravity, I know. That's one thing to do with gravity. Gravity's pulling the shape. It's a bending space warp. Nice time. Summer.
Let's... Just trying to somewhat copy. That's about right, isn't it? I'd say. Yeah. Look at that. Gleam.
Yeah, I see it. I see it.
Right? And then when you put that over there, I mean that's a huge orientation off, I have to say.
Yeah, I don't know whether that's the observer difference in angle, if you know what I mean, like the parallax.
Well, I don't know, we used the human, didn't we?
Because you'd have to think of the alternative, i.e. it is painted. It's
Okay.
something painted up in,
well, let's
or
do
a
it.
big model.
Let's do
with
it
light.
this. Let's do it this way across the pack there. Right now, that to me looks smack on that level of pack. Yeah, would you agree?
Yeah, but I think he's changed height, so I don't think that would be.
What?
No, I think you've lined it up. You've lined it up nice.
So,
it's just more.
So he's level with the pack. All right. Level with the pack. It's level with that. So the pack's lined up. That, I believe. Let's just check that over there. Yeah. That's slightly out, actually.
I think it's
That's
no
better.
biggie if the two packs line up.
That's better. And that's spot on. Yeah. But that's a biggie. That's a big change.
I know what you're saying.
What about the hill? This hill over here. See that little line there? Oh. Can you see that part of the hill there? Yeah?
Yeah, yeah. Well, you can see the difference in angle because it's.
That
below
lines
the
up
flag.
perfectly. Yeah, but they're orientated the same way. The human's the same, in the same direction. The hill over here is in the same direction. So everything's been orientated correctly except for the moon. Sorry, for the apparent Earth in the background that doesn't line up. And that's quite a big. That's quite a big difference.
You'd have to overlay it and do a blink test.
Yeah, yeah. Huh. Imagine that. Imagine that if we're able to find out that the Terminator line on these two images don't match up, and they don't match up by this amount. And these images were taken, what, probably within a couple of minutes of each other?
Yeah, were these actual, did you take snippets? Or are these downloaded images?
Downloaded images, yeah. You can...
Yeah, the raw ones.
Yeah. Yeah. Imagine that. See, it looks to me like he's just moved his hand, you know. His shoulders the right as well. He's lined up the same. The hill's lined up the same, but the Earth isn't orientated the same. That's kind of crushed that idea that they were looking back at the Earth, eh? I mean, how many degrees is that out? I mean, that's quite a bit, isn't it? It's probably about 30 degrees out, that. And there's no way that that's 30 degrees out on the camera or the terrain over here.
Should do more detailed.
Yes.
Have a detailed look at it, I reckon.
Well, I'm going to wrap up tonight. Yeah, going for 3 hours, so I'm going to play around with this after the show finishes. Right, I'm going to do some final thoughts. Let's go through F Evangelist. Hello, F Evangelist. No, okay, right. Aaron. No. Okay, right. Gleam, final thoughts, mate.
Yep. What I want to big up is you, Ranty. Number one, Ranty. There is no other Ranty. So stop trying to be Ranty.
The one and only. Woohoo!
Yeah,
I've got to really thank Dagoon Morning Star for the £5 that he just given me in the PayPal. Can't tell you how much I appreciate that. I really do. If anyone wants to support the show in any way, shape or form, please head on over to PayPal and help that way if you can. So thank you, Dagoon Morningstar, for doing that. I really do appreciate that. Jimbo, final thoughts there, please. Okay, everyone seems to have gone to bed. Silent Zero.
Yeah, sorry, no, Ranty, sorry, I couldn't find the unmute button, but yeah, exactly what you said is kind of what I was going to say to folks. You know, if you enjoy what we have here, you know, and Ranty's doing the work, I don't think there's any reason why. Just whatever you can to scrape together and support the show, because I enjoy it, and I hope you do too. So,
thank you very much. Cheers, Aaron. Silent Zero.
Hey, right. Yeah. Great show.
Cheers, mate. Brandon Toy, final thoughts?
Yo, what a weird night. Weird show. Usually people won't shut up. Nobody wants to talk.
Yeah, we can't get them to say a word tonight. Everyone's gone camera shy.
Good stuff though, man. I'm glad you were on tonight, and I am working on a big presentation about Polaris. So I should have that ready for you pretty soon, man.
Oh, awesome, really good. And I'll do some more analysis on these images. I'll do some more of these and present it tomorrow. You know, I'll see if I can figure anything out, get everything to line up properly tomorrow, and go through all this. Right, cheers everyone for stopping by. Yeah, kind of a weird show, I suppose. Bit slow rolling, to be fair. You know, I think everyone's a bit burnt out, to be honest. Yeah, so just one of those shows, one of those days. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it passed your time for the 3 hours that you were listening in. Yeah, if you do want to support the show, I would appreciate it if you would head on over to PayPal and keep the show on the road, so to speak. Yeah, and I'll get something prepared for you guys tomorrow. Something to look forward to. Right, cheers everybody. I guess I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.